best results. Tom Laporta has the experience to help guide you.
Welcome everyone. Good morning. If you're new here, my name is Brian Craig. This is the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, the Steve Kane Show that I co-host, with the most pro-Donald Trump radio show anywhere on the planet, I promise you. If you love Trump, you're going to love this program. If you don't love Trump, you will after you listen for a while. So make sure you subscribe, click that notification bell, and everyone else that's already subscribed, do me a favor as we're getting started here, like the video. If you're on a mobile device, just close out the chat real quick, give me that thumbs up, and then come back. If you're watching on television, pick up your mobile device, pick up your computer, whatever you got to do, like the video. All right, here we go. It's showtime, people.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Call the show toll-free. Dial 1-888-GO-GAIN 1. That's 1-888-GO-GAIN 1. And now, here's...
Yes. Welcome one and all. My name is Brian. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And man, do we got a lot to talk about today on the radio. Oh my goodness. You know, the January 6th hearing begins today on the Capitol breach. And, you know, Congress always has the lowest approval rating of any other group of people. I mean, you know, if you did a public polling of Congress, any Congress, no matter what era it's in, you could go back all the way to the Continental Congress up until today. They always have the lowest opinion, or the people always have the lowest opinion of them in all polls, always. You could put axe murderers up against Congress. Congress will always be disliked more than even axe murderers. It's very true. It's very true. And the reason that is because Congress are a bunch of low-life people that don't give a damn about anything other than themselves, enriching themselves like Biden's done his whole life. Of course, to do that, they've got to get reelected. And they have these phony baloney hearings all the time, no matter who the president is. And the whole purpose of it is for the Congress to be able to showboat. You know, and the House of Representatives is the worst because the entire House of Representatives is up for reelection every 2 years. So they're always in campaign mode. And what congressional hearings are about, the January 6th hearing today is a little different. I'm going to talk about it in detail as the show goes on. But what congressional hearings are about are members of Congress having their little moment on television, having their time to showboat on television and get free commercials. And the hope is that since they're in a big important hearing, that the local media in their district will carry it and they'll look like they're doing something. But basically, all Congress ever do is screw you over, right? They don't care about any of us. They don't care. I've never been a congressman. They all care when they're running the first time, maybe the second time, but by the time they're in their third term, that's when the parties open the books up to them, and then they become corrupt, and you never see them again. A lot of them don't even live. That not only do they not live in the districts, a lot of them, they don't even live in the states they represent. So they have no idea, nor do they care what constituents want. All they care about are the big fat cat donors. Yeah, and Congress makes laws, right? They make the laws, so of course all the laws represent them. A lot of people don't know that you do not have to live in the state that your congressional district is in to be in Congress. Did you know that? Oh yeah. Not only do you not have to live in your district, you do not have to live in your state. I know, it's insane. It's insane. So this hearing today, though, I'm going to tell you what the January 6th hearing has a very devious anti-Trump purpose, which I'm going to share with you. And today's the opening statement, so you're just going to hear members of the House pontificate. The opening speech for the Republicans will be given by Liz Cheney. He was a real lowlife, you know, her father. The left, you know, it's an interesting thing about Liz Cheney. The media today and the Democrats are going to just love Liz Cheney. Oh, they're going to talk about what a great statesperson she is, stateswoman she is. I don't know what her preferred pronouns are. They're going to talk about what a moral person she is, how she's standing. And it wasn't all that long ago that they were saying that she was a homophobe and that her father was a war criminal. And they were calling her for quite some time a homophobe because, of course, her sister is gay. And when she was running for Congress the first time, Liz Cheney, she actually had to decide whether or not she was going to condemn her own sister because her sister's gay. That's what kind of lowlife you're dealing with Liz Cheney. And of course, her father was involved in lying to the world to get us involved in the war in Iraq. There were no weapons of mass destruction, complete lies. And the media and the Democrats that are going to be loving on Liz Cheney today believe, they used to call her father Darth Vader when he was vice president, believe that they are war criminals. So, but she's going to be not a homophobe today, not the daughter of a war criminal. She's going to be a great statesperson that has the courage to do what's right. They want to give her the John F. Kennedy Profiles in Courage Award after her performance today. And I wouldn't be surprised if they give it to her, or if they already have. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. But you're also going to see some things in this January 6th hearing that you're never going to see from Democrats ever again. One, you're going to see the first witnesses, unless they change this, the first witnesses so far are going to be police officers, Capitol police officers. And for the first time in most of our lifetimes, you're going to see Democrats actually have respect for police officers. They're going to talk about how great police are, these police, and how wonderful they are and what sacrifice. They're going to thank them for their dedication. They're going to thank them for their service. And they're even going to have a police officer who shot an unarmed woman. They're going to respect that officer and support what he did on that day. All of a sudden, the Democrats are going to support a police officer who's involved in a shooting, who killed someone who was unarmed. They're going to respect police. They're going to respect Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney and the Cheney family. It's bizarro world. I feel like I'm like having some out-of-body experience with what's going to happen with this January 6th hearing. But they have a very devious plan, these Democrats, and I'm going to tell you what it is. I flipped on CNN for a while yesterday to see how they were covering this hearing coming up today, and they had a graphic on the screen, the insurrection, January 6th insurrection. Now again, I've been saying this a lot, and I picked this up from Newsmax. I didn't realize this till Newsmax was reporting on this a few weeks back, and no one seems to point this out, so I'm doing it all the time. I don't want to be repetitive like Hannity, but this is a very important point. Of around the 500 people that have been arrested and charged with crimes on the January 6th Capitol breach, not one of them has been charged with insurrection. Not one. There hasn't been one insurrection charge. So how can you have an insurrection if you have no insurrectionist? That's something. Now, this is what their plan is. A congressional committee, a congressional hearing is not a court of law, so they can't convict someone. They can't charge and convict someone of a crime. But what they're trying to do is get a narrative going publicly. They want to convince people that President Trump led an insurrection against the United States government, which is not true. It's not true. You know, the shaman who was the lead in there is literally, and I don't say this to make fun, because I don't make fun of this type of thing. He's mentally ill. He's been diagnosed with some mental illness things. I think one of them schizophrenia and some other things. Donald Trump hires the best. He doesn't hire mental patients to run in with their shirts off wearing Viking hats. If he was behind it, believe me, you would have different people. So he wasn't behind it, but they want the public perception to be, both through this hearing and through the media, that President Trump led an insurrection, which he did not do, and he couldn't be charged and convicted in a court of law over that. But that's what they want the public perception to be. Because after the Civil War, the Republicans passed a constitutional amendment that says that if you were involved in an insurrection against the United States government, you were forbidden from holding federal offices. And the reason they did that in the 1860s is they didn't want the Democrat Confederate government to be able to run and hold positions in Congress, in the House, and the Senate, or even they were concerned that Jefferson Davis, the Democrat Confederate president, could run for the presidency of the United States and win. And they want to use that in their very twisted minds. They want to declare, even though it's not criminal and it's only going to be their public narrative and media narrative and public perception, they're trying to create this narrative that President Trump led an insurrection against the government of the United States. That means he is not eligible. He is barred from holding federal office in the future. This is impeachment 3, is what it is, of President Trump. You know, President Trump has these events around America. It was Arizona Saturday night. A couple weeks before, it was here in Florida. You know, he's all over the place, and he's got full houses. Tens of thousands of people show up. In Arizona, over 100 degrees, well over 100 degrees, and people lined up for miles, knowing they're not going to be able to get in, but they're still lining up for miles just to be close to President Trump. And that scares the establishment of both parties, the media, the donors, etc., etc., etc. And they are desperate to pull something so that he can't run and be elected to his second term in 2024. That's what this hearing's about. You know, another thing about this hearing, it's irresponsible to have it. The division in this country right now is worse than I've seen in a long, long, long time. Maybe ever in my lifetime. Not ever in the history of the country. I'm talking about in my adult lifetime. And you look at the division that's going on right now over vaccine and mask issues. And it looks like, really, I'm expecting at some point, I'm not saying, I do not agree with this. I want people to be very clear. I do not agree with this. But I believe the Democrats who run the federal government right now are going to very possibly mandate a federal vaccination order. I see the writing on the wall. I don't agree with that at all. I don't think the government should be mandating things like that. But they're moving towards it. So we've got to divide over that. We've got to divide over masks. We've got to divide over everything in this country and to have this hearing going on in the middle of this division is only adding fuel to the fire, and it's irresponsible for Nancy Pelosi to have this hearing right now. There should be a true hearing in Congress over the Capitol breach, but not for a long time. Not for a long time. The country is too divided right now. The country is too upset right now. Now, I'm going to take our first break of the day. I want to hear from some of you, too, on the phones. And if you've never called the program before, I'd really love to hear from you guys. I know it can be a bit intimidating. Don't worry. When you're new to calling, I don't give you what I call the treatment. When you're a new caller, I go a little easier on you. Well, a lot easier, really, than I do for the veteran callers that have some experience. I call it the treatment. So if you've never called before, I'd really would enjoy hearing from you. But I want to hear from all of you on the phones today about this. I'm going to bring up some other topics, too. My name's Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631. We're going to take this quick break, be back with your calls, more topics after this. Don't go anywhere.
You suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority.
My wife, over the weekend, my wife took a picture. I fell asleep, and my cat was sleeping next to me. Do you guys want to see the picture? I'll show you. This is me sleeping over the weekend with my cat Sagwa next to me. Look. Look at that. Yeah, I have my reading glasses. I fell asleep reading. I know, isn't it? I know. That's Sagwa. Got her at the Humane Society. Yeah, she's a good cat. She's old, too. She's like 12. She's a good cat. Yeah, I've got Cat Turd's book. I started reading it. Cat Turd's book is one of the best books I've read in a long, long time.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus?
Steve Kane Show.
His wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now.
Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. I got a couple trolls out there. I don't like to answer the phones, but got a couple trolls out there I don't want to waste time with quite yet because I got a lot on my mind, you know. Yeah, Cat Turd, I got Cat Turd's book, and Cat Turd sent it to me, autographed. It's autographed by Cat Turd, and I've only read the first 2 chapters because I haven't had time to sit down and read. I've been so busy, but it is one of the best books I've read. Cat Turd's book is excellent. When I have time, I'm going to sit and read the whole thing cover to cover because it's so good.
South of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
It's a science fiction book. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. Yeah, any lab test now of Coral Springs and Boca. There's lots of any lab test nows around. Those are the only 2 advertising on the Steve Kane Show. They guarantee the lowest price on all of their thousands of lab tests. I go there for all my lab work, as does my wife and daughter. And when it comes to COVID testing, I know you've seen the stories. I don't like to think about it too much, but COVID rates are very high in Florida. And, I sent someone over there from the family the other day to get tested. I've been tested, over half a dozen times for COVID over at any lab test now with Boca is typically where I go. They're open Monday through Saturday, no appointment necessary, just walk right in. Lowest price ever on all of their COVID testing. They even have, no matter what COVID test you need for work, for travel, they offer there. And you get the results with most of these tests in 15 minutes or less. So you get that peace of mind. And with everything that's going on these days, a very good preventative measure is keeping up with your COVID testing. So any lab test now of Coral Springs, of course in Coral Springs, on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood, over by the Coral Square Mall. And any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road, north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441 State Road 7. All right, let's go to our phones. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, what's up, Jeff in Maine?
Hey, I agree with you. They're going to try to do the vax mandate, but I believe that the American citizens are going to treat that like if they're going to try to come take our gun.
No, the way you got to be a little more responsible with the way you talk. By the way, Jeff. It depends. Okay, like, do you work? Are you kind of retired?
Yes.
See, for you, you'll just stay home. But a lot of people have to go to work. They have to go places, and they're going to do it because they have to go to work or they have to travel somewhere, and they're going to do what they got. Well, they got to do what they got to do to do that. If you're retired, if you don't work, you can afford not to comply to such things a little easier than someone that's out there participating in society.
You think that it's unconstitutional?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I am not a lawyer. I would leave that question up to Mark Levin, because I don't know constitutionally what the rules are. I know that I am opposed to the federal government getting involved in telling us what we have to do with in regards to health care. You know, and I think things should be left up to it's America. I believe things should be left up to an individual and their physician, their doctor. I don't think things should be left up to the government to decide anything. You know, when involving healthcare, no, I don't agree with that at all. I don't know if it's constitutional or not. I am not, and I really say that. I don't want you to think I'm copying out on it. I don't know. There were mandatory vaccinations in this country in the past. Well, we've had them in the public schools for the entire 20th century into the 21st century. Now, so that, and mandatory for students, and also the smallpox vaccination was a mandatory evacuation, and I've been doing some reading on that, on the smallpox mandatory vaccination. They had police officers going into people's homes. They called them Vax Patrols, and police officers went into people's homes, ripping them out to get them vaccinated for the smallpox. So there is, but I don't agree with that, obviously, and I don't know if it's constitutional or not. I really, Mark Levin and Alan Dershowitz are the people to ask that question to.
Yeah, and polio was the last true vaccine. You didn't get it. That's a vaccine. You get a shot, and you do not get it. This is a flu shot. It's not a vaccine because it does not.
Well, it might. I don't know. I don't really want to debate the vaccine. That's an endless thing of going around, and none of us are doctors or scientists. We're not a lot of times people tell me, I hear this a lot from people over the years. It'll sound self-serving when I tell you, but when I meet listeners out in public, they'll say, "Wow, you know so much. You're so smart. You're awesome." The secret to that is you only talk about things that you know about. If you talk about things that you are well informed on and know about, you sound intelligent. When you start talking about things you don't really know about, you don't sound so sharp. So the talking about the vaccine from a medical perspective, none of us are qualified to do. But I'm just telling you, I don't think the government should mandate it. But I live in reality, and I can tell by what is happening now that if the Republicans don't retake the control of Congress and we don't get Trump in 2024, there will be a vaccine mandate in this country. That's why they're starting it in California and New York in these huge population centers, even though they're liberal states, and it's going to spread. And they're going to, once they get, there's, do you know the boiling the frog analogy? Okay, if you put a frog in a boiling water pan, it's going to jump right out, right? But if you put it in a pan with cold water, put it on the burner and turn it up, and it slowly gets hot, it won't even know that it's being boiled to death by the time it realizes that it's done. So that's kind of what they're doing now. They're mandating vaccines among certain people, healthcare workers in certain states and everything else, and it's going to spread, and before you know it, it's going to be nationwide. They're going to order it nationwide. That's what they're moving towards.
The people coming across the border, a third of them are being tested positive to COVID, and they're sending them in the States, and they're not vaccinating them. Why are they going to demand we get vaccinated? I heard that on Newsmax or Fox on yesterday.
I don't even believe that. I don't. They say a third. I think there's too many people coming across the border for them to even test that many. Plus, how many do they not even have track of that are coming across the border? So no, there's you can't cross the border from Canada into the United States right now. The restrictions from the UK are getting clamped down on. But from the southern border, people are just walking through nonstop like a revolving door, and it's maddening.
It is.
Yeah.
I think the border crisis is one of the biggest ones going on in our country.
We have so many balls in the air. We can only focus in on one at a time. But the border issue, what's going on with the border, is the Democrats are playing a long game. What I believe the Democrats are doing is trying to make the country a majority black and Hispanic country. They're trying to reduce the white majority. And the Democrats believe if they can get rid of whites being the majority in the country, they can finally take over and control things forever. That's what's going on. There's other things going on there, but that's the long game that they're playing.
It's all about votes for them.
It's about them having complete control of the country. See, when Barack Obama was elected and reelected, Democrats thought that Republicans would never be in power again, right? Especially as president. And they thought that it was going to be a long time before we had a white man as president. After Obama was elected and reelected, they thought the next president was going to be a woman. And then they were going to have a Hispanic. And then they were going to rotate it among formerly disenfranchised peoples, as they would describe them. And boom, Trump came down the escalator, and that was the end of that fantasy. So that's what they're doing now. You can see it with this critical race theory. They really don't like white people that much. Hey, Jeff, thanks for the call. I'm going to move on, but if you're on hold, stand by. I got to take our break for the bottom of the hour at 6:30 in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. Indeed, you are. The longest-running radio show in the great state of Florida. We're going to take our break and be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
Here, the hot weather, it's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The
Steve Kane Show.
Much higher than that. That means your
Hold on.
conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, we do it with the radiant barrier installation and making sure that none of your air conditioning are leaking in your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week. And we put all new ducts in for radiant barrier and all new insulation. And she just wants to tell you how our experience is.
Good morning. I wanted to let you know.
Welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. This is the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida. Been on the air since 1977. I've not been with this show that whole time, but for a huge chunk of it, no doubt about it. But actually, most of the time, and most pro-Trump show anywhere. We're in South Florida. We broadcast on AM and FM stations here in Florida, and a lot of streaming services too. But when we're on the radio, I live stream here on YouTube. We take calls from our radio listeners, from you guys watching on YouTube. Our toll-free number works from anywhere. The number's in the description if you'd like to call in. And I also have a podcast that I do separate from this that I co-host with my wife from my studio at home. I'm at the radio station now. And I upload that on all the podcast platforms, but here on YouTube as well. So make sure you're subscribed. Click that notification bell. And everybody else, if you're already subscribed, like the video. Liking the video helps a lot. It really does. It's how the YouTube algorithm works. Those likes help the YouTube algorithm say, wow, a lot of people like this video, and then it recommends videos from my channel to other people that like this kind of content. So liking the video helps a lot, guys. That's why I ask you to do it so much.
Lower electrical bills.
Right.
It works.
Coming back here.
Give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed at SteveKaneShow.com, as is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him, 1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855.
Oh, hey, Jim Lockwood, welcome.
3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Alrighty, we are back 34 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Our number toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike, what's up?
You know, one, you're talking about these hearings that are going to start. You know, I think the reason why they're starting early is basically this early, and you mentioned it earlier that usually something like this would be 2-3 years down the line, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
But here's, go ahead.
Yeah.
You know why they're doing it is as a result. You know what this is a result of? This is a result of Trump starting to do his rallies.
Well, it's in large part because of the Trump rallies, but they want the hearings to happen, and they want to declare that Trump is an insurrectionist leader before he declares for president, because they're going to make a case which is not legally binding because they're not a court of law. He'd have to be convicted in a court for this to be legal. But they want to declare that he is an insurrectionist leader, that he led an insurrection against the U.S. government, and forbid him from running for federal office. So they're trying to rush that narrative through before he declares. And he hasn't declared he's running for president yet, because as soon as he does that, he has to go by all these fundraising rules and regulations that he doesn't want to deal with right now. That's what's going on here.
Right. Now, as far as the vaccine thing, there's something else going on here, and they want to know they want to know who has had the vaccine and who hasn't.
They know. They know because how do they know what doors to knock on with those door-to-door people? They have a database already. But
the thing is they really should know that it's against the law.
Sure.
Yeah, it's HIPAA laws. You know.
Yeah.
They should know. It should be between you and...
Well, I'll say to people sometimes, and they get annoyed at this, I don't live in the world of should. I live in the reality. You know, what I told Jeff, that they are going to mandate at a national level, if the Democrats stay in power, they're going to mandate vaccines are going to be a mandate in this country. It's going to be a mandate. I'm telling you, they're moving towards it. And I was watching, my friend Mike Nificent from Right Side Broadcasting. He's on YouTube. You guys should look him up, Mike Nificent. And a lot of you guys will like this video because there's girls in bikinis in it. But over the weekend, Mike Nificent went out to the beaches in Florida and was interviewing girls in bikinis and others about the vaccine mandate and vaccine hesitancy and all these things. And it was a pretty interesting discussion. And this what got me realizing it's so... Once the Democrats have us debating something, they've won it already. We used to have this thing that's kind of faded away, the culture war. And we used to debate things like gays and the Scouts and gay marriage and the sanctity of marriage and all of this. And once they have you debating it, they've already decided they're going to make their move and it's going to happen. I want to sneeze.
Right. And it's also one
Excuse
of
me,
these
guys.
things where
air conditioner just popped on over my head.
Kind of don't like. But he was at one point he was talking about.
Well, Glenn Beck was trashing Trump in 2016. He was a never-Trumper, and he lost me back then, and he hasn't won me back yet.
Well, what he was saying at one point was he was talking about the whole Clinton thing and how we argue with each other, and does it matter? Does it not matter? Did he do it? Did he not do it? That type of stuff. And once you have somebody arguing like that, then the Democrats have won because it's an argument.
I don't want people to think I've given up or anything, because I haven't. I've just been doing this for a long time, and I know how they operate. So what I'm telling you, I'm not saying I don't agree with it, and I'm not saying they're going to be successful at it, but they are going to mandate vaccinations. Now, when they do that, a lot of things will kick in, like civil libertarians will go to federal court, and it'll go all the way to the Supreme Court and all of that stuff. But they have already decided that they're going to have a nationwide mandate, the Democrats. They're just waiting for the right time. The only question is, who's going to sign that, Biden or Kamala? Is she going to have to remove him because of his cognitive decline? But they've already decided they're going to make the move for the national mandate, is what I'm telling you. I'm not telling you it's going to be enforced, that it's going to hold up. And I certainly don't support it, but they've already decided that they're going to do it.
As far as Biden being removed, I mean, after watching that thing with CNN, how can he not remove him?
Well, the thing is, the right thing to do would be for him to resign, but his wife's never going to let him do that. His wife's never going to let him do that. So the only way they're going to get Joe out of that office is if Kamala invokes the 25th Amendment. She needs the majority of the cabinet to go along with that. And, Joe Biden has been in Washington longer than anyone else, and he knows everybody. He's friends with everybody, and a lot of people owe him. And he has no problem doing what he's got to do and the people around him to garner support. So her getting away with invoking the 25th Amendment is not going to be as easy as you would think, no matter how bad his cognitive decline becomes in public. All right, Mike, hey, listen, thanks for the call. Mike in Louisiana, always some insight there that's interesting. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name?
Hello, first-time caller, name's Sean.
Hey, Sean, where are you calling from?
Calling from Oregon.
All right, Sean in Oregon. What's up?
It just hit me. Let me make this quick. A couple years back, I remembered an executive order that Obama had put into place allowing for UN troops to come calm things down if things got out of hand really bad.
Nah, I don't think that was such. I think that was urban legend. That was back in that... what was that thing called? Something like 22. What was it called? There was a thing that we used to all talk about all the time. That was that wasn't true. I don't like Obama, but that wasn't true.
Okay, whether it's true or not, the scary thing that I'm about to bring up here is the fact that the guy that invited the UN people to come judge
Agenda 21. Yes, that's it.
If you don't think that they're having that they're planning Antifa and all kinds of I believe that's going to be our next false flag. There's going to be some race riots while those guys are here judging our races.
Yeah. Why do they need the UN when they've got General Milli Vanilli on board? Right? He seems pretty woke. We got a very liberal military right now. Our military leadership is as liberal and woke as our U.S. Olympic team.
It's needed all of it, I think. And anyway, I just wanted to leave you with that thought. And thanks for having me. All
right, thanks for calling. First time caller from Oregon. Yeah. No, This hearing, you want to talk about false flag, this January 6th hearing is the false flag, and it's a dog and pony show. I'm not going to watch it live. It's going to go on for a while. I will watch the highlights when it's edited down, because I don't think I have to watch it live would just infuriate me. It would just, especially Liz Cheney today. She's a real lowlife. She's a real lowlife. She really is. A real lowlife. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. I brought in today my MyPillow bathrobe from home, and I was wearing it at home this morning as I was doing show prep. I was all dressed and everything, but my wife turned the air conditioning down real cold, and I put the bathrobe on to keep warm, and I started to walk out the door wearing the bathrobe, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to take it off. I'm going to just walk. So I walked out the door wearing the bathrobe. I took it off when I drove in, because, I was stopping off to get coffee and everything on the way in. But I'm wearing my MyPillow bathrobe, and this MyPillow bathrobe is so comfortable. It is. I've had this bathrobe for quite some time. It has been washed many, many times. And, everything from Mike Lindell's MyPillow is very high quality. And as many times as this bathrobe has been washed, it's like the day it arrived in the mail. And I'll tell you, you guys out there, thank you so much for your incredible support of this program with MyPillow. When you use the promo code Kane at checkout at MyPillow.com, you can save as much as 66% off the items at MyPillow.com. The MyPillow bathrobe, like I'm wearing, with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, 30% off. I have one, my wife has one, and they've just come out with a whole bunch of new colors for both men and women, including this beautiful burgundy robe that is, I think I got to get that one. My wife has the white one. They come in heavy and lighter robes. The one I'm wearing now is a heavier one, and if you're wondering, it's size medium, and the one I'm wearing now is gray, and it is beautiful. Now make sure you use the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. If you are on our YouTube, in our YouTube chat right now, I put a video, I pinned a video in the chat room, and if you're not, if you go to SteveKaneShow.com, you'll see a link to it. I have a link to the video that I made when I received my MyPillow mattress topper. The mattress topper, oh man, the mattress topper is been a life changer for me. With the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, with the MyPillow mattress topper, save 30% off, and you get 2 free MyPillows. And you can watch the video. I have it in the YouTube chat room, the link to it. My unboxing video, I unbox my MyPillow mattress topper with the 2 free MyPillows. I make the bed with it. I try it out and everything on the video. You can check it out. And I'll tell you that yesterday, I was a little surprised to see this. I was contacted by another pillow company, one of Mike Lindell's competitors, and they wanted me to not only promote their products, but they wanted me to make promotional videos for their pillows and other products that they were going to put on their website, as well as Amazon and all of this. And of course, I told them, no, I'm with Mike Lindell. I stand with Mike Lindell. He has his big event coming up next month. Fox News won't even discuss it, he said. They won't even promote his event. He's got an incredible event coming up. Mike Lindell has been standing with Trump, standing with MAGA. He's being sued both personally, and his company is being sued. And the best thing you can do to support the great Mike Lindell is go to MyPillow.com and buy something with the promo code Kane, Kane at checkout. The bathrobe I'm wearing, again, 30% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Comes in styles for both men and women. They have a bunch of new colors. The MyPillow mattress topper, great deal. 2 free MyPillows and 30% off with the promo code Kane. And there's a lot of incredible, whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of it with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Save up to 66%. All right, we'll take our break. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. Back with your calls after this.
Homeowners, HOAs, and business owners, it's hurricane season. Storms are coming, and when they do, you need to be prepared. If your roof is old or compromised, call Tom Laporta for a free evaluation. And when a storm comes with high winds and hail, or if projectiles hit your building, call Tom Laporta first before you call anyone else, so Tom can evaluate your damage and give you the information and tools you need when you call your insurance company.
Our promo code Kane works in Canada and the UK. So if you're in Canada or the UK, you can use our promo code Kane, Kane. If you're in Europe outside of the UK, I don't know for sure. You can check. But if you're in the UK or Canada, it definitely works.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the sole authority today, 954-597-7060.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All righty, we are back 48 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Rolanda.
Hey, Rolanda. What's up?
I just wanted to say, everybody's talking about what the Democrats are going to do, this and that. Here's the problem with their plan. Number one, people aren't as stupid as they think they are. By them not stopping what's happening at the border
Thank you, Dale.
Allowing it to be porous, people recognize the fact that how can you demand that the rest of us become vaccinated and you're steady allowing strangers to come into our country, interject all sorts of things within our population? That's becoming problematic. Number two, Brian, and I don't know if you've been hearing it lately, but the doctors for both Trump and the doctors for both Obama, he said in this particular case, he talked about Biden specifically.
You're talking about Ronnie Jackson.
Yeah, he's now saying and calling on Biden to take a test because there's something wrong with his cognition. This is becoming more.
Well, and let me tell you, I said this during the campaign, and I know I played that clip yesterday about the gibberish thing, and we were having. I do not make fun of people that have mental illness, and I don't make fun of people that have Alzheimer's or other cognitive issues. I've had people in my family that have had these cognitive issues. In Florida, we have the oldest population in maybe the world. And, you see people like this all the time here in Florida, and it's a terrible thing. I believe Joe Biden's a victim of elder abuse from his low-life wife and family. But listen, he's the commander-in-chief. He is not fit. If this country... Now, we're being attacked during these cyber attacks. If there was a major attack in this country, the command structure has to go through the commander-in-chief, and he is not capable of responding. The vice president has no constitutional authority. Either does the first lady, thank you, and we certainly don't want the military ever calling the shots on anything. This is, a civilian-led government, and he is not fit. I don't like Kamala Harris, and she would be a disaster, and she's incompetent. I mean, if I had to go buy a new pair of shoes for my wife, I'd call Kamala. That seems to be an area she's competent in, But other than that, but at least she's not suffering from cognitive decline, and he really needs to he needs to go through a real true cognitive exam. I don't know, but the problem is if there a lot of pressure comes from this thing with Ronnie Jackson's getting a lot of discussion. If they did it, they would do it in secret, and of course he would pass it with flying colors. You understand? They would forge it. They would fudge it. They would not give us the results. Obviously, he can't pass it. He could not pass it, and they'll never publicly let us know that he didn't pass it. They would do it, like Prince Harry. I do not believe Prince Harry is Charles' son. I believe Prince Harry is the son of the limo driver, of Diana's, the redheaded limo driver. But many years ago, this was a big discussion years ago. The royal family did a DNA test, and of course, the DNA test showed that Harry is Charles' son. Shocker, right? Let's do an independent. Let's take that water glass, that water bottle he was drinking from at Gayle King's backyard for the Oprah interview, and let's use that DNA and find out the truth.
Here's the problem, Bill Brian, and this is another issue. Where is the vice president right now? Even if you have the COVID virus, even if you don't have the COVID virus, she's now missing in action too. There's been nothing, no statements from her. I haven't heard anything from her. A lot of people haven't. What's going on with her? Is there a fight in the background that we don't know?
Well, they all hate her. I mean, Jill Biden, the Bidens hate her because she humiliated him in the first debate. They haven't forgotten that. And Pelosi hates her too because she first met her when she was introduced to her as Willie Brown's girlfriend at a political event in San Francisco. And she's not going to let someone like that be her superior. And so she's on the outs among these people. The only reason that she's vice president is because Obama wanted, a lot of people believe her and Obama had a fling. And I believe that. When you see the two of them together back when he was president, there's chemistry between the two of them. You can see it.
Has had her share of issues, and she knows how to take care of herself. That's true. But here's the deal, Brian. When I start hearing the doctor of
Ronnie Jackson.
Yeah, and he says there needs to be a test. There really does need to be a test.
Well, Ronnie Jackson, see, a lot of people, the Ronnie Jackson story, he was promoted to admiral by Obama when he was Obama's doctor. So, and he knows Biden. So he's not only a physician, he may have even seen him as a patient when he was the White House physician, but certainly he worked for years in close proximity to Joe Biden. So he is not only a medical doctor with expertise, he has been around him before and now and can see the difference. So Ronnie Jackson is rendering what is something that is very rare in these types of things. He is an expert medical opinion because he's had contact with the patient, Joe Biden, for many, many years, and he can render a diagnosis like he's doing on television credibly.
Yes, he can. Because I know when I heard him, I said, you know what? There is now some questions, some legitimate questions that are being asked and that are being promoted now.
Yeah.
And I do think you're right. It is Jill that is doing the controlling right now.
Not by me, Eddie.
It is his.
Yeah. Yeah, she's running the show. Jill Biden is running the show. And what they, listen, I tell this to people a lot. Villains do not view themselves as villains. Liz Cheney and all these creeps with the January 6th commission to indict Trump here, they think they're helping us and doing God's work for the country. Jill Biden, what they tell us with Jill Biden is a lot of people, Woodrow Wilson had a stroke when he was president. And this was before the modern era, so we don't really know for sure, but many believe that Woodrow Wilson's wife was not only running the country for the final year of his presidency, but she was actually signing bills into law and things. And so what they tell themselves is this. They tell themselves, well, there is precedent from the Woodrow Wilson presidency for the First Lady to act as the president. They'll tell themselves things like that.
Yeah, they will. And she sees it as being justified. She's looking at herself being stepped over as First Lady. You're right, and she is. It's all about Jill.
Yeah, and she passes herself off as a medical doctor. She implies that all the time. So and look at Hunter. She raised Hunter Biden.
Well, I tell you what, Brian, and I'm saying this because I guess you're Catholic. I am so glad the Catholic Church has woken up. And they basically told Nancy Pelosi to shut up. They don't want to hear about her being a devout Catholic. They have told her, if you support unfettered abortion the way you do, you are not a Catholic. You basically are not a Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
I want to commend the Catholic Church for doing what they finally should be.
Absolutely. All right, take care. Thanks for the call, Rolanda. Now, I want to tell everyone about Friendly $65 a tire. Brand new tires out the door and on the road, because Friendly Mike does not charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or even dispose of your old tires. The price he quotes you on the phone is out the door and on the road. My wife's car, the lowest price I could find around town, $165 a tire. I know. Pretty high, huh? Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire, $75 a tire. A $90 savings per tire. A $90 savings per tire. New tires out the door on the road. Steve Kane's car, lowest price we could find, $175 a tire. Friendly Mike's price at Friendly Tire, $75 a tire. A $100 savings per tire, brand new tires out the door and on the road. He also has thousands of used tires in stock, starting at just $30 for most sizes. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. Give him a call, 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. He's located in Margate. You can find him online at friendlytire.net. 1 hour down, 2 to go. I'm Brian. We'll be back right after this.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the Biostation West Delray. At Biostation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who had tested positive for COVID. And I was
Find out if she...
results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have...
Eddie, well, I'm inside, Eddie.
It was very pleasant.
And the air conditioning's cold. No, I would not wear a robe to the beach.
The test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did, go over to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs.
Yeah, they keep the AC like so cold at the radio station because of all the radio equipment. It heats up the rooms, and they keep the AC low so that the equipment doesn't get hot in all the studios. No, I would not wear a thong at the beach or anywhere else, no.
Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Attention seniors and those who care about them. This is Brian Craig. I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates?
Yeah, I like the gray, but they have the burgundy. I like the burgundy. I'm going to get another one and get the burgundy.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with. Prescriptions, doctor's appointments, things like this. How do you help them with that?
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can step in. If you're having issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything to help you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that. And they'll help you if you're in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office.
All right, we're coming back.
345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing?
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everybody in there, please like the video. Liking the video helps get this video recommended to other people that like this kind of content.
1-855-FLA-3782.
Gosh darn it. Computer froze. There we go. Oh, the pet bed's awesome, yeah. Pet bed just $19.99 with the promo code Kane. My dog is sleeping on it right now as we speak. All right, hour number 2 has begun. I am Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. If you've missed the first hour, you've missed a lot. Some great calls, too, in the first hour. Some new callers, which are nice to hear, and very good content from everyone who called in. Everyone who has called in so far this morning has been a very, very good caller. No doubt about it. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I had something happen to me yesterday at home. My wife and I, we had a couple people at our house yesterday doing some work. We got some new blinds put up. And I know a lot of you guys, it's been in the year of COVID, a lot of things got neglected. And we've needed new blinds for a long time, and we didn't get new blinds because of the COVID long ago, and then we had them installed. We got them, and they were installed yesterday. And a couple came over to put the new blinds up, and they I'm not into racially stereotyping people. Okay, I'm not into racially stereotyping people, but I guess I did yesterday just a little bit. And they are black, okay, and the workers that came over, a man and a woman, they're black, and we had new blinds put up in the whole house yesterday. And one of our rooms is a bedroom that I have converted into a production studio and podcast studio. I have a studio at home very similar to what I have here at the radio station, where I do all the audio production, all the sound bites you hear on the show, the commercials that you hear on the show for the most part are done at home. And I also have my podcast that I do at home with my wife. And I have this podcast, this bedroom that I've converted into a podcast studio. And the walls of my studio at home are covered in Trump. I've got 4 autographed pictures of President Trump, and 4 autographed photos of President Trump, and I've got a lot of other Trump stuff up on the walls too in my home studio. I have the clock. I have a clock on the wall that's a Make America Great Again Trump clock. I have a Trumpy bear. I've got a listener gave me an invitation to Trump's inauguration that is signed by President Trump and Pence. I've got that framed on the wall, and I got a bunch of other stuff too. And when the workers pulled up, because usually people come over to the house and do work sometimes. Rarely do they go. I don't let people go in that room because there's so much studio equipment. I don't want things to get messed up because people you touch one thing and it's a mess. And I told my wife, I said, wait until they go into the studio and see all the Trump stuff on the wall. And when they got to that, they go in there and like, oh, here we and shocker, they're Trump people. They're black and they're MAGA. They're black MAGA. And they were so excited and so impressed that I have all these Trump autographs all over the place. They said I could pay for the blinds with one of the autographs. Yeah, I'm sure I could. But I don't racially stereotype people, I don't think, but I guess I did yesterday, and boy was I wrong. I just assumed chances are they were anti-Trump, and that's the kind of thing that has the Democrats in a panic right now. There's so much black MAGA out there, like this, these nice workers that were at my house yesterday. And they have just lost, they've lost such a chunk of the black vote that they're in a panic. So what do? Try to cause racial division with critical race theory and other things. But yeah, there's a lot of black MAGA out there, and I was pleasantly surprised that they were big Trump people, because I'm certainly not going to take anything off the walls when somebody comes over the house. They're going to find out about it real quick. And things turned out well. All right, let's go back to the phones. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's our number. You're on the radio. What's your name? Tony in Satellite Beach. Hey, what's up, Tony?
Hey, did you watch Cuomo last night?
Oh, are you kidding me? No. Why would I be watching CNN at night? Or any other time of the day? No.
I turned him on last night. I listened to him, and the man was pleading and praising the Republicans and Trump and everything, and pleading for people to get their vaccine. He's like,
was it Fredo or the governor? Which Cuomo?
Fredo.
Oh, Fredo. Okay, because Governor Cuomo is doing a similar act too.
Yeah. So he's last night he basically was on TV just pleading his case, for the people to get the vaccine, and he wasn't bad mouthing Republicans, he wasn't bad mouthing Trump, and.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who the hell he thinks he is. When he got COVID during the pandemic because he violated his brother's orders as governor, went out of the house, got the COVID, then he gave it to his whole family, and went out to Martha's Vineyard at his mansion with the family, and then he got into a fight with a bicycle rider by his house with the COVID and everything. I mean, he did everything wrong at the height of the pandemic about COVID. I don't know why he would be a voice of credibility on the issue. The problem they have a lot of problems, but Fauci has been inconsistent since day one, but they have caught, if they would try to bring unity between MAGA, between the Trump wing of politics and themselves, they would have been more successful with this vaccine rollout that Trump began, and they just haven't. They've been so divisive, the country's at odds with one another, and they just don't have credibility. But here's the thing. The vaccine hesitancy is not a MAGA problem. Okay? Most of the MAGA people, most of them that are older have been vaccinated. A lot of younger people haven't, because a lot of younger people don't think they need to be, But the major vaccine hesitancy is in the liberal community. It's in the black community in liberal places like Chicago and New York and other places, because I was talking about this yesterday to some callers. The left, the education system, the media have been lying to blacks about the Tuskegee experiments, they call them, from about 100 years ago almost, and not quite, about 80, 90 years ago, and they're afraid to get the vaccine because of the Tuskegee lies that they've been taught their whole lives. The major portion of vaccine hesitancy in this country is in the liberal African American community, not the MAGA community. The MAGA people are just more vocal about it.
Right.
I mean, the first person I remember, well, talk to your doctor or make a decision, but I'll tell you, the first high-profile national person that I heard who was dealing with vaccine hesitancy, do you know who it was? The first nationally known person, Senator Kamala Harris, when she was running for vice president. She gave a television interview and was unsure whether she trusted it because Trump was president at the time. You remember that? So she was the first person that I remember that was vaccine hesitant. Kamala Harris.
Hey, I appreciate that. You sound like you're in a good mood this morning.
Well, sometimes I'm not in a good mood.
No.
What kind of mood are you at 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning? You in a good mood every day at 6, 7, 8 in the morning?
I'm a first-time caller, just to tell you the truth, and
first-time callers don't get what I consider the treatment. I don't talk to you like I talk to, Richie the bus driver or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. First-time callers, you get a couple of passes before I start, giving you the treatment. Unless you get nasty with me, then I'll have to,
Let me ask you something. If your wife wasn't sick or ill, would have you got the vaccine?
I honestly, I don't know if I would have gotten it or not, but I wouldn't have gotten it as quickly. I got my first shot the first day I could get it. Okay, and I got my second shot 3 weeks later. If my wife did not have health issues, I don't know for sure if I would have gotten vaccinated or not, but I certainly wouldn't have rushed out to do it. I mean, the first day that I could get it, I got off the air at 9, and I went right out and got it that morning. Okay, the first shot. So that was. But I take all kinds of precautions, because before COVID, because of my wife's condition, if I have the sniffles and it's allergies, and I think it's a cold or a flu, I'm sleeping on the couch. So I've always been overly cautious because pneumonia. If my wife got a cold once from somebody else in the family, and she was hospitalized. Okay, just from a cold. So she's almost like the boy in the plastic bubble with John Travolta. You know what I mean? Before all this, we behaved that way. So I mean, my mindset is very different than most people. So yeah, but I certainly wouldn't have gotten it the first day at the immediately like I did. No, I don't. I can tell you, I would not have. No. Mm-mm. Well, we don't know. It's up to. It doesn't seem like it now. I don't know. It's up to. It's up to Florida and the CDC are in court battles, and so far Ron DeSantis is beating the CDC. The CDC lost their case against Ron DeSantis. Florida has won out on the vaccine passport. So, all right. Well, thank you. Well, where are you calling from again? Where's that? Is that on the Gulf Coast or is that on the... I was just up there. I thought it might be because satellite, but you never know with the Gulf. I was up there at Cape Kennedy, and I went to Cape Canaveral, the beach. And I've never been to the beach area of Cape Canaveral. I didn't realize what a dump that area is, by the way. The ocean's beautiful, but the Cape Canaveral neighborhood is not the best. It's not the best, but I'll tell you, it's a nice part of Florida. People need to go to Cape Kennedy and take that tour. It is amazing. It was my first time there in about 25 years. I made a YouTube video. It's on my YouTube channel, and they brought in people from Disney and the Smithsonian and totally revamped that area. It will blow your mind to go to Kennedy Space Center. All right, hey, welcome, Satellite Beach. Thanks for calling. We'll take our first break of the second hour. It's 17 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
Homeowners, HOAs, and business owners, it's hurricane season. Storms are coming, and when they do, you need to be prepared. If your roof is old or compromised, call Tom Laporta for a free evaluation. And when a storm comes with high winds and hail, or if projectiles hit your building, call Tom Laporta first before you call anyone else, so Tom can evaluate your damage and give you the information and tools you need when you call your insurance company so you can get the best results. Tom Laporta has the experience to help guide you through terrible times like these. So again, before you call anyone else when damage strikes, call Tom Laporta. This number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Online, LaportaContracting.com. Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great My Pillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the My Pillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the My Pillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling you testimonial about my Pillow topper.
You ordered the My Pillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top? So I went on, I used your promo code Kane. I got great price. Got it home, and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It feels like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the MyPillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress companies stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saved you from buying a new mattress and turned your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. And you guys out there, remember, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. And when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper. And receive 2 free MyPillows. But you got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Welcome back, everyone. 19 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. Now, I know you probably heard this story about Barbara Boxer. Ex-California Senator Barbara Boxer was assaulted and robbed in Oakland. Okay, so let me ask you this question. I'm going to give you the answer. I ask questions. I'm not going to troll for calls to give the answer. A lot of people on the radio do that. They'll ask a question to troll for calls to kill time. And they'll take a whole bunch of calls to get the answer. No one gets the answer right. Even if they do, they'll claim they didn't so they can kill more time. I don't do that. But so, ex-Democrat, well, she's still a Democrat. She's an ex-senator. Ex-California Senator, Democrat Barbara Boxer, was assaulted and robbed in Oakland, California. What does her attacker have in common with the attacker of Senator Rand Paul? We have 2 senators, both attacked. Rand Paul attacked in his front yard while mowing the lawn. Barbara Boxer attacked in Oakland, California, and robbed and assaulted, just like Rand Paul. What do they have in common? Senator Rand Paul's attacker and Senator Barbara Boxer's attacker. What do the attackers have in common? If I had the Jeopardy music, I would play it for you right now. Do you know what they have in common? Both Senator Boxer and Senator Rand Paul, both were attacked by, you got it, a Democrat. A Democrat, yes, yes, yes. We know, it's true, it's true. It's true. Former Senator Barbara Boxer was assaulted and robbed Monday in Oakland, California. On her Twitter, this was tweeted. Earlier today, former Senator Barbara Boxer was assaulted in the Jack London Square neighborhood of Oakland. The assailant pushed her in the back, stole her cell phone, and jumped in a waiting car. She's thankful that she was not seriously injured. The suspect remains at large. The Oakland Police Department is offering a reward of up to $2,000, leading to an arrest in the case. And Barbara Boxer reportedly said to the Democrat who attacked her, "Why would you do this to a grand mal?" Okay, now, yeah. So, yeah, both attacked by Democrats, no doubt about it. Now, if she was the victim of white-collar crime, maybe you could make a case she was attacked by a non-Democrat. But I think it's safe to say she was attacked by a Democrat. And, you know, Barbara Boxer, why is she sending the cops out? Wesley, $5 super chat. Thank you. I want to thank Wesley. Why is she sending the cops out looking for this assailant? Because it's in Oakland, and he's a Democrat, and I noticed something is missing from all the stories. Do you know what is missing from all the stories about Barbara Boxer's attack? This attack on Barbara Boxer is everywhere in the news, national news. I haven't heard Barbara Boxer's name in so long I forgot about Barbara Boxer. You know what's missing? A description of the assailant. Have you seen a description of the assailant in this Democrat that attacked Barbara Boxer? When there's not a description, assume that they're African American. The media do not like to give descriptions of African American criminals. They think I'm serious. They think it'll promote racial stereotypes of African Americans that aren't true. So we can assume that the Democrat that attacked Barbara Boxer is a Democrat. We can because of the type of crime, and we can also assume that they're a African American. So why is she allowing the racist police to seek this person out? They're obviously disadvantaged, low income, a high risk crime like that for a cell phone. And you know, Barbara Boxer, do you think she has the latest iPhone? No, even though she's rich, I bet you she has one of those. She probably has one of those flip phones with the big old buttons on it, or some old. Or I'm sure it's not the late. Like I got an iPhone 12 because I needed to stream with iPhone 12 Pro. I'm sure she doesn't have the latest. So it's a very high risk crime. Obviously, somebody that's been disenfranchised in our society, and of course, Barbara Boxer, who has walked around her entire life with white privilege, she can, if I lose my phone, I got to go buy a new one. These things are expensive. Barbara Boxer is a millionaire many times over, certainly has been the benefactor of her white privilege. Why would she send the police out and offer a reward for such a disadvantaged Democrat like this? What else is he, Oh my goodness. But no, this incident, this mugging incident in New York that was all over the news yesterday. I saw it before the show yesterday. I didn't get into it because we had a lot of other things to talk about. But it's very disturbing. The guy that another Democrat, because of the type of crime, the Democrat that attacked probably another Democrat, the bicyclist in New York City. Very disturbing. And as much as this was discussed yesterday, and it was in all the news, everyone's talking about this. You've seen it? Gave a beatdown. That was a black on white crime. That was a black criminal on a white victim. There is a racial component there, I believe. I really would like to take my daughter to New York. New York's opened up, and she's been to New York City before, but she was a child. I'd love to take her there as an adult, go see some shows and everything, but it's just not safe. It's terrifying. Jacqueline, $20 super sticker. Thank you. I don't thank Jacqueline. But a lot of these crimes you see are black on white, black on Asian. And there's a racial component. And a lot of, like this bicyclist, this white bicyclist that was attacked by the black guy and beaten pretty bad in this video that's circulating all over the place, I do believe that there's a major racial component to that. Because they feel that they have been disenfranchised by the white... You're talking about people in New York City, liberal New York City. They feel they've been disenfranchised by the white community, so they're entitled to get some reparations. These videos, these shocking videos that we're seeing in New York that have been around quite a bit, actually, for the past few weeks and months and everything. I've been seeing a lot of them. I've never seen one of them that's black on black. It's always black on white or black on Asian in all of these videos. Have any of you noticed that? And why is no one talking about this? To me, not all criminals are black. There are white criminals out there. But to me, it seems as if black strong-armed robbers, these are strong-armed robbers. Now, maybe I'm wrong with this, but I'm more afraid of a strong-armed robber than an armed robber. Because a strong-armed robber has a lot more guts. They don't need a weapon. They're just using their hands, and they're taking a big risk, so they're willing. They're prepared to do whatever they got to do to escape after they've, if you resist too much. I think they're more frightening than an armed robber. Armed robber, you give him what you got, and chances are he runs off. A strong-armed robber like this, who knows what they'll do. There is a crime wave in New York City, there's no doubt about it, but it's also a racist crime wave where black criminals are targeting non-black people, mostly white and Asian, on the streets of New York. And I would say that if you're, and I know we have New York City listeners, and I don't know if anybody has noticed this. I watch all these videos because they're on television, they're online, They're frightening. They're very disturbing. They're scary as hell, really, aren't they? I mean, they're terrifying. Can you imagine being that bicyclist? Oh my goodness. When was the beatdown going to stop? And the beatdown gets a little more severe because there's racial rage towards the white victim. So they get a little harsher than they need to be, and even spend more time before they flee after the crime because they're so angry over the racial hatred that they have inside of them that they've been brainwashed with by the media and the Democrats. All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. It is 7:30 in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll take a break and be back right after this break.
Folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the Biostation West Delray. At Biostation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
It's here, the hot weather. It's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index, much higher than that. That means your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big, big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, we do it with the radiant barrier installation and making sure that none of your air conditioning ducts are leaking into your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week, and we put all new ducts in for radiant barrier. And
hey, Debbie, good morning.
And she just wants to tell
you. Hey, Kathy, good morning.
Good morning. I wanted to let you
Make sure you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Click the notification bell, and everyone like the video if you don't mind. I'm tangled up in my wires here.
Job to go up in an attic, pull out all the old ducts, come in and put in all new ducts, extra additional ducts to make my system work better. I'm in the construction industry. I'm an architect, so I'm familiar with what the cost could be and how much time it takes to do everything. And let me tell you, I was very impressed, and my attic looks like a spaceship up there with all new ducts. I took out the metal duct that was insulated and leaking on my ceiling.
Oh man, I was just reading this story that is frightening. I'll get into it after the break.
In the industry, but let me tell you, what I paid for the entire package should have cost just to remove the old ductwork and install new ductwork, and I got everything for less than what I thought it was.
Wow, that's amazing. And when Scott from Cut My Kilowatts brings that radiant barrier into your attic...
That's a Grande. No, this is a Venti. Venti is bigger than Grande. Grande comes to about here. This is a Venti, which is the tall cup.
Your air conditioning ducts, which means your air conditioner works less to keep your house cool and comfortable for you, which means you have lower electrical bills. It works. Listen, guys, give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed at SteveKaneShow.com, as is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, welcome back, everyone. 34 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. on the radio since 1977. Steve will be joining us after our next break. At the start of the show at 6, I just want to recap a little bit before I bring up some new stuff. Today, the January 6th hearings began. Okay, and the opening statement for the Republicans in the Capitol breach congressional hearings will be given by never-Trumper, daughter of the war criminal, Liz Cheney. So, you know, you're going to see some very strange things from Democrats in this January 6th hearing. One, the first witnesses, unless they change this, it was announced yesterday, the first witnesses are going to be police officers, the Capitol Police. So you're going to see Democrats do something you've not seen Democrats do maybe ever. You're going to see Democrats honor police officers, show respect for police officers, thank police officers for the hard... They're going to talk like Blue Lives Matter people during this hearing with the Capitol Police. And they're going to approve of a police... They're going to congratulate and honor a police officer who shot and killed an unarmed woman. Of course, the officer who shot Ashley Babbitt. So you're going to see bizarre things in this hearing you've never seen before. If I were... And Kevin McCarthy is responsible for all these Trump haters being on the committee from the Republican Party. He's a snake. But if we had real Republicans on this committee and they were calling witnesses, I would definitely... in the beginning, have the Capitol Police come in, and I would specifically have the Capitol Police officers that opened up the gates outside and let the people in. Those would be my first witnesses. And if they have body cams, I would have their body cam footage and audio so we could hear what they were saying at the time. But my first mission would be to interview those officers in the hearing and find out why they did that, who told them to do that. I would also bring up the officers that were standing outside as the Capitol windows were being broken. Remember the one video where the guy in the MAGA hat goes over to the Capitol officers and says, "What are you doing? They're attacking the Capitol. They're breaking in. Why are you doing it?" Those would be the next officers I would talk to. Yeah. I'd also call John Sullivan, who's the Black Lives Matter guy who was dressed in MAGA gear, who actually was in the front egging people on and filmed the tragic shooting death of Ashley Babbitt. You know, these are the witnesses, but that's not what you're going to see, because the conclusion has already been decided. Donald Trump led an insurrection against the U.S. government. That's going to be the conclusion. They've already decided it. Kevin McCarthy has gone along with this by having nothing but never-Trumper Republicans representing the Republicans up there, and that is the way of it. And it's today is going to be the opening speeches by the committee members. So I don't know if they're going to get to witnesses today. If they do, it'll be very late in the day. But tomorrow, the next day, is when the witnesses will definitely start, and that's what you're going to see. You'll never again see Democrats show honor and respect to police officers like you're going to see during this, because they have an agenda. And another thing about it, I think, is very important. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to go to the phones in a moment. This country, it's too soon to have this. This hearing should not happen for a couple of more years at least. You know, this country is so divided over the COVID issues that we're talking about all the time. It's too hot of a time to have something so divisive going on. But that's what they want. And what they're trying to do is to stop Trump from being able to run for president by declaring that he inspired and led an insurrection against the U.S. government. Thereby, legally, he is not legally able to hold federal office again. That's what they're moving towards. All right, let's go to our phones. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
This is Steve from Coral Springs.
Hey, Steve.
Sorry. Hey, man. I'm sorry. I tried to get on your show a little bit yesterday, but you were busy. Biden said with that video, I listened.
No, I even saw Laura Ingraham last night, even in our last segment, got to it. She couldn't figure it out either.
Let me ask you a question. You mentioned about McCarthy being a snake. I thought he's always been on Trump's side. Can you?
No. Well, a couple of things we've learned. He removed Marjorie Taylor Greene from committee assignments because Nancy Pelosi doesn't like her. That doesn't sound like he's fighting for MAGA. That was the beginning of it, and but of him actually taking action. But on the day of the Capitol breach, multiple witnesses have said, and I've never heard him deny it, that he got on the phone during the Capitol breach and was yelling at President Trump, blaming him for the event. I've heard that from multiple sources, and I've never heard Kevin McCarthy deny it. And there's other things too, like living with that liberal pollster Frank Luntz and other things.
You know what? I'm sick of Fox. You know what I call Fox now, Brian? I call Fox CNN 2. You know, I'm Newsmax. I heard about Eric Bolling. I'm happy for him. I'm glad that we're going to see him go head to head with Cavuto, and I can't stand Cavuto too. You're right.
He's a big never Trumper. Now Eric Bolling's show begins Wednesday, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax, and what's going to happen, and I believe a short amount of time, Newsmax is number 4 in cable, right behind MSNBC. That means they're already beating Fox Business. They're going to overtake MSNBC, and I think it'll be fast.
I agree. And real quickly, what about they're talking about these hearings? What about that woman who that I think she was I don't know if she served her country, who got shot?
Ashley Babbitt.
Right. They said that the person, and again, I'm not 100%, that shot her was a security person for the Democrats. Again.
No. He was a Capitol Police. It has not been 100% confirmed, but I doubt the hearing is going to protect that guy's identity. You're gonna see them do, Derek Chauvin. They got that all over the place, right? The Rodney King cops all over the place. This guy, the hearing, I don't think they're going to reveal who shot Ashley Babbitt officially in this hearing. And so far as Kevin McCarthy, the reason that the only Republicans up there are a bunch of never-Trumpers is because Kevin McCarthy allowed it to happen. I believe he colluded with Pelosi. Kevin McCarthy doesn't want... He came up through the ranks with Paul Ryan. He does not want Trump to be the party leader. He wants to be the party leader.
Yeah. Yeah. What about that guy? I'm sorry. I know you're not a sports fan. Someone. I was watching Hannity yesterday. The football player that wants to run for
Herschel Walker.
Yeah, Herschel. What do you think about it?
Well, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about his politics. If Trump endorses him, I'll be behind it. If Trump says he's okay, that means he's okay to me.
Before I let you go, I mean, and I know, honestly,
I feel like I kept him on one question too long.
Let's see. Take back, in 2022, and then.
Yeah.
Trump, but I think if Trump, if Trump does become president again, which I hope that he'll, of course, Trump has, tricks behind his sleeves. He'll of course have a new team. I don't think he's going to have the people that he used before. I'm sure that, he'll get some people that he talked about Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I think she's smart as a whip, and I think that she would be good. You talk about Kristi Noem. I think she's intelligent. You need people like that will back up our president. But that's basically it, Brian.
I saw Kristi Noem on TV last night. She has sent South Dakota National Guard to the southern border to assist Governor Greg Abbott, and I was watching her speak, and she's as brilliant as she is hot.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I wouldn't disagree with you on that, man. But yeah, again, real quickly, I like Newsmax. They're great, and I kind of wish they brought the other guy back on there, that Howie Carr.
Howie Carr. I was not a Howie Carr fan on Newsmax. I thought he was the weak link in the beginning, but they can bring him back on the weekend. All right, take care. All right, thank you. Appreciate the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Brian.
Hey, Andrea. What's up?
So, I pretty much, for the most part, agree with you about the witnesses, but this is what I would do. If I were a Republican, the first person that I would call is the Sergeant of Arms. And I would ask him what the discussion between him and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer was in regard to securing the White House. Then I would...
You mean the Capitol?
Then I would release the request that Trump sent to Pelosi to have the National Guard pulled in.
You're getting too complicated. There's the first first witnesses I want to talk to, there's several of these guys, are the Capitol Police outside that opened up the gate and showed the people the way in. I want their body cam footage. I'm guessing that their radio chatter is recorded for the Capitol Police. I would think. I want those recordings. I want their body cam footage, and I want their testimony. Who told them to open up the gates and show those people in? Because they didn't open up the gates on their own. Somebody told them. I want to know who. And then that's my next witness.
Well, I do agree with you there, but I would just want to speak to the Sergeant of Arms and find out what exactly transpired.
You know, I'll tell you one thing we have never heard. Okay, we see all the shocking footage and everything, but they took the entire Congress down in the basement. Okay, and all kinds of things happened down there. All kinds of deals and conversations were made, you know, because when it was over, it was a new, we haven't heard anyone tell their story about what happened down in the basement among the members.
What about the guy that was planting the pipe bomb?
Oh, yeah, where'd that guy go? Yeah.
Yeah, what happened with that? They have been pulling people out of Pennsylvania, left, right, up, and down. So they're able to secure that software, but you have a guy planting pipe bombs outside the RNC and the DNC yet.
No doubt. Yeah, you're right on the money on both counts. You're right on the money, but this hearing is going nowhere. The whole hearing is going to be anti-Trump, anti-MAGA every step of the way. They've decided on their conclusion in the entire narrative. Well, it used to be we'd at least have one or two Republicans asking real questions, but now we got Liz Cheney and who's that other jerk that they put up there, the other Republican? The creep.
Paul Banks and Jordan Offit. I just can't. Like, I'm heartbroken.
No, I'm not heartbroken. The truth will come out, and they're gonna do themselves damage because this is a kangaroo court. And it's going to be very obvious very fast that it's a kangaroo court. And they're going to look like fools. They're going to look like fools.
And I do. I hope they look like absolute buffoons because that's what they deserve. But I would also, probably at one point, bring the lawyer that served when they tried to impeach Trump for insurrection that was, acquitted?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Andrea, I got to run for a break, but thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. There's only one opening on the board where Andrea was at, so if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. Phone's very busy. The chances of you getting back in, maybe a little difficult. So hang in there. We're going to take our break, and Steve Kane will be joining us after the break. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. This is Brian Craig. I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned that there's a huge need for Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with. Prescriptions, doctor's appointments, things like this. How do you help them with that?
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can step in. If you're having issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family.
Talk about it. Welcome.
We'll call the
even though
nurse's
you're late.
And ask for some.
Shame on you. You'll have detention. You'll have detention for being late.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I
I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up...
I took the break late because Andre was on the phone.
Care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything helping you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number, 954-345-12.
Oh, I need to go to the men's room. I should have gone to it. I have to wait till the top of the hour now.
1214. Or go online. You can sign up.
I've had so much coffee and so much water this morning.
Advocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
It'll be a very uncomfortable 10 minutes. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll go to the phone shortly. I'm Brian. We're joined by Steve Kane. Hey, Steve. Hey, how's it going? Okay, those of you on hold, stand by. We'll get to the phones.
Today, is there going to be, two questions. Is there going to be any cross-examination of the witnesses? If there is,
no.
There's going to be...
No. Well, today is just the opening, so it's just going to be the Congress people giving speeches, about defending democracy and,
It's going to be able to cross.
Well, the first witnesses may not be today. They may be tomorrow. No, because we got a bunch of Trump haters like Liz Cheney and who's that other guy, the other guy that they got up there? We got Kinzinger. We got Trump hater Republicans up there, so there'll be no. They'll just be thanking them for their service and all this crap. There'll be no real questions from the Republicans. No.
That's hard to believe.
It's true. Well, Kevin McCarthy allowed it to happen.
I thought he was going to pull the witnesses, that he wasn't going to participate in the hearing.
He pulled out the Republicans he had up there so Pelosi could appoint these never-Trumpers that pretend not to be working with Kevin McCarthy, like Liz Cheney and Kinzinger. So, yeah. So,
what they're going to do any?
No, he's a never-Trumper too, Steve. That's what you got to understand. He's an enemy agent. He's might as well be with the Lincoln Project, Kevin McCarthy. He's just pretending to be MAGA on occasion, but he's a very clever agent working with Nancy Pelosi. There's only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. We'll go back to our phones. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Yeah, Brian, I just want to comment on the January 16th. I was there when it happened, and it pretty much kind of shone through that the truth of all of this is coming out slowly. But the people that aren't paying any attention to it, they're just caught on that first.
See, this is what. Okay, now this is the truth. No truth is coming out of this. Okay, what's going on here? Yeah, what's going on here is they already have the conclusion. Trump inspired and led an insurrection against the government. Now everything that we see during these hearings will be to back up the conclusion they've already come to. Okay, make it look. It's a kangaroo court, even though it's not a court, but it's a kangaroo hearing. Okay, and they want to get a media narrative going. I turned on CNN yesterday because I wanted to see how they were covering. No matter what the graphic is, insurrection is in there somewhere. Okay. Now again, remember, 500 arrested, not one charge with insurrection. It's an insurrection without insurrectionists. It's an insurrectionist insurrection, but we don't have any Republicans up there that are going to point that out. And you're going to hear the word insurrection more than any. You're going to hear insurrection more than Trump in this hearing, and they're trying to get a media narrative going of that.
Anybody can see right through this that was physically there for sure, was following anything. But
well, when that happened, I was pissed, and I talked about it the next day. I was pissed because I knew what they were going to do with it, and for the rest of my life, I'm going to have to explain that. You know that, right? Yours too. If you're a conservative, if you're MAGA, 30 years from now, you're going to have to defend that.
Right. But see, you know what it is? In the beginning,
everybody's going to have their opinion, and they're going to jump to conclusion, and they're going to be like, oh, they're going to feel like a certain type of way. But what I see happening now is the narrative's changing because they're dragging this out like they did.
Well, I was telling Steve yesterday he's got to switch over to Newsmax starting tomorrow because Eric Bolling debuts tomorrow. And watch the coverage on Newsmax. I think Newsmax is going to have the best analysis overall of what happens every day because the hearings are going to go on every day. So by the time they're over, it'll be like Eric Bolling time, and that evening lineup over there is going to give you great analysis of what's going on in these hearings that you're not going to get on Fox.
Well, there's that. Do you think they're ever going to line anybody up there that's actually going to defend what happened there?
Well, you can't defend what happened there. You can't defend vandalism and breaking and entering. You can't defend. That's not defend. No. We're not we don't. We're not defending what happened. But basically, you have some vandalism, some trespassing. And that's about it. And when an insurrection happens, I don't ever know of an insurrection happening in American history where the insurrectionists were all unarmed, and
testifies with.
They're going to test. Yes, they're going to have all the cops testifying and they're being questioned by their friends on the committee. It's going to be an indictment of Trump.
I'd rather hear the families of the ones that hung themselves.
I don't know who you're talking about. Let's take another call or two before the break. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Oh, Greg too. Hey, Greg.
Listen, they can use the term insurrection all they like, but you're right, Brian. There is no one charged with it. By the way, the last conversation we had on this topic, we talked about the individual that was held without, any hearings or unable to speak to his attorney. Do you recall that?
Yes, vaguely. I mean, I know the incident. I mean, talking to you, I vaguely recall. But I know what you're talking about, yes.
Well, you know what? A lot of these individuals have pled out already and are gone. A lot of them have been released on their own recognizance. They're not all being left in there. But there are some people that have, some very serious charges. You act like just breaking the Capitol, just a little vandalism, a little breaking in. Oh, what's the big deal?
No, I didn't say it's not a big deal. What vandalizing a government building is a serious thing. Breaking government building windows is serious vandalism, but it's not an insurrection.
With flags?
I want to know who did that and find out if they're But insurrectionist. Now again, I don't know of an incident in world history where insurrectionists have gone into a government building completely unarmed and walked out 30 minutes later. That's not usually how insurrections happen.
Oh, we know that's them just using it as politics. There's no big insurrection. Donald Trump's going to be able to run next time because no one's been charged.
Yeah, and I'll tell you another thing, Greg. All these people that have not had their trials and have not made deals yet, how can anybody get a fair trial when you've got after this going on right now, right? All these people that are still facing trial, many of them being held in solitaire 23 hours a day and all of that. How can they get a fair trial with this business going on?
Listen, I know that's why you maybe asked for a change of venue, something to that effect. You're right. Listen, but you know what? Your point that they held this hearing too short in time, the reason behind most of that is people's memories fade during the course of time. That's a fact. You didn't even remember our call vaguely, but if I would have called you the next day, you would say, oh yeah, I remember that call, Greg. People's memories fade.
No, I remember your call. I was just ridiculing you like your calls aren't that meaningful to me.
All right, so you're fraud. You're fraud.
No, it's called humor. It's called humor. Dark humor. It's called dark humor.
I don't think dark humor. Okay, that's your type of humor.
Yes, yeah, the kind that's funny. It's so funny. You got to think. Yes.
By the way, as far as Kevin McCarthy goes, didn't he visit Trump within weeks of him losing the election?
He's visited him many times. He's a double agent. All right, Greg, take care. Let's take one more call before we break, Steve. Good morning. You're on the radio. I got to rethink everything I'm saying because Greg was agreeing with a lot of what I said, so maybe I'm wrong. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Augustino.
Hey, Agostino.
I want to let you know that Herschel Walker stands behind, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, Greg Abbott, he could be a vice president if Trump wants him.
Mm-hmm.
A great man.
Yes.
And I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning watching your ride-in to work.
Oh, yeah, I was live streaming on YouTube on my drive into the radio station this morning, yeah.
And also, I want to mention that TikTok is MAGA.
Oh, yes. I'm on TikTok, too. I'm all over the place, yeah. MAGA is very strong on TikTok.
I'll tell Steve that your robe is fantastic.
Okay, I'll do that in the next hour when I do the next spot. All right, Agostino. Appreciate the call. We got to take our break for the top of the hour, and I'll tell you what he's talking about when we get back, Steve. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Steve is here. I'm Brian. Third and final hour up next. We'll be right back.
FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Be right back. I'm going to go to the men's room. I'm not going to take my robe to the men's room.
Almost 90 degrees here in South Florida.
I'll be back.
The
bathroom's right here. It's like 2 steps
and it's
away.
only going to get hotter. On the line from Cut My Kilowatts, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. He's going to tell you how he could save you big money on your electric bill.
We're facing the onslaught of summer here, and a lot of people are going to be noticing that, if they haven't noticed already, that their air conditioner is just running non-stop, fighting to keep the house cool. A lot of times the air conditioner can't even keep up with the heat gain. You'll have the temperature set on your house at 74, and you'll look at the thermostat, it'll be at 76 or 77 or even 78.
Yeah.
Even as high as 80. So what we do is cutmykilowatts.com, and we've been doing radiant barrier in South Florida for 10 years. I mean, we did Steve Kane's house probably 10 years ago when I first started doing this in South Florida. Radiant barrier stops the heat gain in the house, lowers the temperature in the attic 30 to 40 degrees, literally cuts the AC runtime in half, and a lot of money.
Let's explain to people what radiant barrier is. We have known Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
Hey, this is the My Pillow bathrobes there.
Every summer here on the Steve.
Medium.
In the heat
At the
of
My
the
Pillow
summer,
tag
the
in there.
attic, how hot does an attic get during the summer, Scott?
It can get, depending on what kind of roof it has, with a shingle or tile, shingle being the hottest, 140, 150, you even see 160 degrees.
Yeah, and what that does is that 150, 160 degree heat in your attic makes your ceiling hot, and of course your air conditioning ducts.
Yeah, I showed this to the people that were watching earlier. I'll show you guys. My wife over the weekend took a picture of me sleeping, and my head's on the My Pillow, and my cat Sag was sleeping next to me. Look, that's Sagwa and me sleeping.
And it basically just turns the heat wave that comes down off the roof.
It's kind of weird seeing a picture of yourself sleeping.
It makes your roof function like a white shingle reflective roof. You see those white roofs on people's houses. They put them on because it cuts their electric bill 25-30%. Same thing with radiant barrier. You put it in on the underside of your roof deck. It's like $1 a square foot. And you've got a special if you spend 1,000 square feet or more, you get an additional $500 off. So it's very reasonable. It's very affordable. This time of year, you're getting it for half price, plus you're getting additional money off. We also do
the robe. It goes down to about this far above my ankles. Steve Kane Show.
Now listen.
Yeah.
It's getting hot today. It's going to be about 89 degrees here in South Florida. We're not in the hottest heat of the summer yet. We will be soon.
Yeah, I know. I could believe.
Because of that,
she's a cute cat. Sagwa.
Before it gets super, super hot, because as it gets hotter and hotter, it's more difficult for his crew to work in the attic. Now it's not quite as hot. They can get the work done faster, can spend more time in the attic. I'm going to give you Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. I'm going to give you his website and his number. If you miss this, it's listed at SteveKaneShow.com. First, you can give Scott a call at 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Oh, hey, Kathy. I was just showing everyone that picture you took of me sleeping with the cat.
At SteveKaneShow.com. Scott will save you money on your electric bill this and every summer. All right, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, have a great day. We will talk later in the week.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your
Yeah, we got her at
assets
the
time of passing?
Humane
Avoid
Society.
probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE 1. And now.
All right. Third and final hour has begun. I'm Brian, Steve Kane here. This is the Steve Kane Show. I was trying to get a hold of you yesterday. I don't know what's going on with our phone, Steve, but I don't know. You never answer my calls, and I keep missing your calls. I don't know what's going on with our phones, but we're not in good communication with each other. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but
We've always had a problem with my receiving.
yeah. Well, anyway, I had this one. Really, I was trying to get a hold of you yesterday. I couldn't believe this one. Yesterday, we were contacted by a pillow and sheet company other than My Pillow, and they, because I have a lot of videos online of my Pillow products, and in fact on SteveKaneShow.com you'll see I have a link up there to my unboxing of the My Pillow mattress topper when I got it in the mail. It's 30% off, by the way, the mattress topper. With the promo code Kane, you get the mattress topper and 2 free My Pillows with the promo code Kane, 30% off. And I made a video where I unbox it, I open it up, I make the bed with it, and you see me use the mattress topper. I've got videos online of the My Pillow pet bed, which is just $19.99 with the promo code Kane, with my dog, with my cat, and everything on. And of course, we do a great job here on the program promoting the programs. I'm wearing my My Pillow bathrobe right now, which is 30% off with the promo code Kane at checkout. And a competitor of Mike Lindell, they want us to. Obviously, I told them no, but because I told them we're with Mike Lindell, we stand with Mike Lindell, as you should too. But they wanted us to do commercials for them, endorsements for them, and they wanted me to make some videos of me using the products like I do with My Pillow, and I said no way. First off, I will never sleep on another pillow other than a My Pillow again. Right now, they're just $29.99 with the promo code Kane. It's the lowest price ever, and my wife and I, we have a few extras we bought because of this low price for Christmas. And right now, they're having an overstock sale at MyPillow.com, and I'm calling it Christmas in July because these prices, at these low prices that they are offering right now with the promo code Kane, are not going to be there forever. I just got 2 sets of the My Pillow towels, and Steve, these My Pillow towels, I've never had a towel that works so well. I mean, they're soft. You could use it as a blanket. They're so soft and everything. But when you dry off with the My Pillow towel, you just boom, you're bone dry, and the towel isn't even soaking wet. I don't know what technology Mike Lindell has developed for the My Pillow towel, but it is as innovative as the My Pillow itself. So no, we will not be endorsing other pillows, sheets, or mattress toppers from any other company. We're with Mike Lindell and My Pillow. So go to MyPillow.com, use the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and you can save up to 66% off. What Augustino was talking about, what happened, Steve, is this morning I got up and got ready, and I was doing all my show prep at home, and my wife has the air conditioning so low in the house. I put on my Pillow bathrobe to stay warm, and I started to, it's so comfortable, I forgot I had it on, and I was walking out the front door with the robe on, and instead of going, I'm dressed underneath it, I mean, I'm fully dressed, but instead of taking the robe back home, I brought it to work. I thought I'd show it to everybody, and it's, now I have the gray My Pillow bathrobe, 30% off with the promo code Kane. They come in styles for both men and women, heavy as well as light. I'm wearing a heavy one now, and they have a whole bunch of new colors, including burgundy, which I really want to have. The burgundy is like that smoking jacket color, you know, and it's really cool. So anyway, no, we will not be endorsing any other pillow companies other than MyPillow ever. I promise you that. But go there, use the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. For incredible deals. All right, do you want to go to the phone? What do you want to do, Steve? Okay. Oh, here's a blast from the past. The Surfer. Haven't heard from the Surfer in ages.
The Surfer. Brian, how you doing? This is Surfer from Deerfield Beach.
Hey.
Steve, how you doing this morning?
Excellent.
Good. Listen, as far as an insurrection thing, Nancy Pelosi turned down Trump for having troops, guarding the Capitol building. And of course, Nancy Pelosi, after the whole thing went down, she denied it. I just wonder why that hasn't kind of been talked about. It's just like, so Nancy Pelosi says that she didn't say anything.
That's not going to come up in the hearing. The hearing, none of that's going to come up.
That's the main reason it happened, and it should come up. I'm just posting,
No, in fact, there's if you really want to get down to it, there was an incident that happened a few days before the Capitol breach where the FBI arrested the leader of the Proud Boys on a weapons charge a couple of days before the incident. And he was going to be there. And then we find out a couple of months after that for many years, the leader of the Proud Boys has been an FBI informant. And I believe, and I'm not alone, many others believe, including Jim Jordan, who won't be there to ask these questions, that they had prior knowledge of what was going to happen, and they arrested the Proud Boys leader so that their informant, so he wouldn't have to be part of the event, right? So they wouldn't burn their informant by committing a crime that they say, you know what I'm talking about? So there's all kinds of things that really happen there. None of them will come out of this hearing. All you're going to hear in this hearing is insurrection and Trump. Trump insurrection, MAGA insurrection, Trump insurrection. That's all you're going to hear. Trump did it.
It's really a shame that if they could put that on the internet, that Trump did try to do something.
Steve Kane Show.
And Pelosi turned it down. That would be, I don't know. It's just.
How it's going to make them look good doing this.
Because this is what their people want to hear, and they figure they got the media on their side to get a narrative. So among their people.
The fact is, as you describe it, it sounds like bullying, and it's hard for me to visualize what you're talking about without and eliminating that natural reaction that our Trump people are being bullied.
Well, but the people on the committee are all Trump-hating Republicans, so it's not going to be. It's not going to look that way. You're going to.
I can't believe this. So you're telling me we're not going to have an opportunity to cross-examine?
Correct, unless you consider Liz Cheney and an ad. No, we're not.
No.
Nope.
Backfire.
Nope. They control the narrative. They control the media narrative, and no.
Brian, why doesn't Trump take this to court and get a lawsuit as a result of this for his name?
They can have a hearing doing whatever they want. They can, it's Congress. It's up to Congress to do this. You can
ballpark, and it's their ball.
And they got the media covering it. The media won't carry a Trump rally, but they're going to carry this. I'll tell you, they're going to carry this. And I'll tell what I told the caller earlier. Every graphic has insurrection in it.
I think if Trump had a lawsuit going against Pelosi with this whole thing, I think
you can't have a lawsuit to stop the House from having a hearing.
Saying that, but at least Trump's getting all the fire shot at him, and it should be shot at Pelosi for not bringing the troops there.
Well, when he's the president again in 2024, he'll be able to do all that. Yeah. All right. Take care. Haven't heard from the Surfer in years. Oh. Mike, you're on the radio.
Hey. Good morning. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, Michael.
Yes, Steve, the Insurrection Act, they call it, this hearing, it's a pure propaganda piece. No one's going to watch it, but the problem is CNN and MSNBC are going to talk about it because they've been saying it for the last 6 years.
Oh, Fox is going to carry it. You don't think Fox will carry it?
Oh, I was referring to, yeah, I think Fox will carry it. Of course they will.
Yeah.
They're not. It's going to be all one-sided.
Yes. Yeah, we have no real Republicans there.
I mean, but have you ever heard of a backlash? I mean,
No backlash. Just no.
Because did Mitch McConnell come out and say something against this? I don't even know if he did or not.
Mitch McConnell's the one out there talking about national vaccine mandates. I mean, these people are, they're lost.
We have nobody in the Republican Party except for a handful of good people.
Well, we have no one in leadership that's high enough up because Steve doesn't want to accept it, but Kevin McCarthy's working against Trump. And this committee is Kevin McCarthy's doing in cooperation with Pelosi.
Of course it is.
Yeah, that press conference last week was an act.
And your wife.
Yeah, and my wife pointed something out to me. I went back and watched it. There's several points where he pauses, and I thought he was just a pontificator pausing so we could ponder the brilliance that just came out of his mouth. He was like trying to remember his lines.
So it was all of that.
Yep.
So this is what we have to deal with. Steve.
Are you okay? You don't sound yourself, Mike.
No, I'm trying to sound awake.
What are you doing? You're MAGA. What are you doing waking up at 8:15 in the morning?
I gotta have a little bit of sleep. I'm on vacation.
Oh, you're on vacation. Yeah. With liberals, their whole life is a vacation. For Democrats,
I'm on a staycation. That's how.
You're on a staycation. Yeah, I know what those are. That's why we started doing our cruises, so I could have vacations instead of staycations, or just acation.
What's that?
Just acation would be good sometimes. All right, Mike. Take care. Take care. Mike's a good guy. All right. I got to tell people about Friendly Tire in Margate. Now, Friendly Tire in Margate, I have been a customer of Friendly Tire in Margate for a long time before they were a sponsor of the Steve Kane Show. They have the lowest prices on new tires and used tires that you will find anywhere. The prices you hear us talk about in the commercial are out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire does not have any added fees. They don't charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire. They don't even charge you to dispose of your old tire. And the prices you hear in all our commercials reflect that. And I wanted to get them on as an advertiser for a long, long time. And we tried for a couple years to get Steve to go over there. Every time you needed tires, Steve would say, "Oh, I got tires yesterday." And I would say, "Next time you need tires, let me take you to Friendly Tire in Margate." And I would tell you about the prices, and you didn't believe me. And then you came to work one day, finally, before you got new tires, and told me, "Oh, I got to get new tires today." And I sent you over to Friendly Tire in Margate, and this is before they were advertising, and you called me from there, and you said, "These prices are so incredibly low, I can't believe." And then next day we were doing spots for them. And now again, these prices that we give you are out the door and on the road on brand new tires because he has no added fees to the tires, balancing, mounting, dispose, none of those fees. And Steve went over there. You were in your Toyota van, and the lowest price we could find at other tire shops around town, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire, brand new, out the door and on the road. $100 savings per tire. And and of course I have similar savings you hear me talk about all the time. And Friendly Tire also have thousands of used tires in stock, starting at just $30 for most sizes, and they have tires for everything. If you have run flats, you will find the lowest prices ever on run flats at Friendly Tire in Margate. If you have commercial vehicles, they can help you. If I see sports cars and luxury vehicles over there all the time. I saw a Porsche SUV there the other day getting tires at Friendly Tire. I've seen vets over there getting new tires too. I mean, everybody goes to Friendly Tire because no matter the tire, it's the lowest price anywhere. He also has all the name brands that you're looking for: Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone. You can get all those over there too at prices that will blow your mind. They're so low. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, so give Friendly Mike a call, 954 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. All right, we'll be right back after this.
HOAs, and business owners, it's hurricane season. Storms are coming, and when they do, you need to be prepared. If your roof is old or compromised, call Tom Laporta for a free evaluation. And when a storm comes with high winds and hail, or if projectiles hit your building, call Tom Laporta first before you call anyone else, so Tom can evaluate your damage and give you the information and tools you need when you call your insurance company so you can get the best results. Tom Laporta has the experience to help guide you through terrible times like these. So again, before you call anyone else when damage strikes, call Tom Laporta. This number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Online, LaportaContracting.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we are back. You know, I saw something today that was really frightening. We have lost so much. The leftists are really on the march. They're really on the march. And I just saw a story this morning, Steve. Listen to this. Facebook has signed a contract with a megachurch as the platform's director of global faith partnership reveals what is coming. Listen to this. Is in the Western Journal. Big tech social media giant Facebook is partnering with religious organizations as part of what seems like a goal to make the Facebook platform a virtual home for religious communities, meaning churches. Okay, now, COVID has opened up an opportunity for these, low-life leftists to do all kinds of things. They're trying to make a transfer. People don't like going to church on Sundays, okay? And especially during COVID, okay? So what Facebook is doing is trying to get these churches to go online through them. Now, they're going to have some reluctance because if it's virtual and online, you can't pass the collection buckets around, in some of these places. So, there's a little reluctance there, but I'm sure Facebook has a plan to help them out with that. But Facebook, you know the story with Facebook, they have some of the strictest guidelines and restrictions on content anywhere. And once they get the churches controlled online through Facebook and other similar platforms, what happens if the pastor starts saying things that Facebook doesn't like? Do they censor the church? Are they censoring Christianity? Of course. Facebook isn't doing this for a good reason. They're doing this for a very devious reason. So you do not want your church to go virtual. You do not want your church to do their sermons through Facebook. It'll be the end of Christianity as we know it. They'll change it over the course of time. I don't think so. They have a lot of restrictions on content on Facebook. They're the worst on what you're allowed to talk about, what you can't talk about, what's considered hate speech. And churches going virtual on Facebook. A lot of what goes on in evangelical churches is contrary to the terms of service guidelines of Facebook. And what will happen is Facebook will set these churches up so they can do their collections virtually instead of people having to actually be there. Then they got that money control over the church. Now, this is a bad idea. Keep your church off of Facebook. I mean, don't stop the in-person worship. That's not good. You do not want these big tech people to have control over the churches. It's bad enough the leftists have control over the schools and the media.
Oppositional thought on this?
This is a brand new thing that's happening. So I'm giving you my oppositional thought because this is a new story. According to a Sunday article in the I lost the article. Oh, let me pull it up again. According to a Sunday article in the New York Times by faith and political reporter Elizabeth Diaz, head of Hillsong Atlanta's opening, developers working for Facebook regularly met with Pastor Sam Collier to explore ways through which the platform can help churches go further and reach more people on Facebook. So, Facebook, Steve, has so many everything that we believe in is almost considered hate speech by Facebook. right? I mean, if you're a conservative, now if you're a liberal church that is making up their own religion and is not using the Bible, and all that, you'll be fine on Facebook. But if you are, a real church that has Christian principles and uses the Bible, you're in trouble if you turn things over to Facebook. All right, our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. See, that's why I got to read and watch. A lot of the liberals will tell you everything they're doing if you watch their news and read their newspapers. If you only go to conservative sources of news, you miss out on a lot of what's going on. The liberals don't hide what they're doing. They don't have enough self-control to hide what they're doing. They tell you everything. If you go to the Huffington Post and places like that, they tell you, it's like having a spy in the enemy camp. They tell you what they're doing almost every single step of the way. Good morning, you're on the radio. Oh, Attorney Barry Siegel. Hey, Barry, how you doing?
Barry. Hey, how you doing, Steve?
Good.
Good.
Well,
I heard you right before I came on talking about Facebook. Actually, it's funny. Today we have something we're doing for the first time. It's actually a workshop on Facebook. It's called Facebook Live. And today at noon, we are going to be having a class, a workshop on Facebook. You can register on our Facebook page, Siegel Law Group on Facebook. And it's absolutely free. So really, there's no more excuses. We do the live seminars to help people learn everything they need to know about planning for their loved ones and themselves. But now you don't even have to leave your kitchen, your living room, your dining room. You can log right in and learn what you need to know to take care of yourself and your family.
Well, a lot of times when you should be dealing with your estate planning at every age, but a lot of times people put it off till certain stages in life, and it might be difficult for you to get out and about. And Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group understand that. So again, how can people sign up for this virtual workshop again on the Siegel Law Group Facebook page?
Type in the search Siegel Law Group, and you'll see multiple posts describing and inviting you to join and to register. And then at 12 p.m. today, just go on and you'll be able to watch it.
Well, that's awesome. Now, if you have any questions about that, I'm sure if you call Barry's office, they'll help you out. The number over there, the Siegel Law Group, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Barry, have a great day. We'll talk later in the week. All right, take care. I was talking in the first hour, Steve, about, it's only a matter of time before the Democrats come out and say there's going to be a national vaccine mandate nationwide. Because you see, like in New York and in California, they're basically doing it. Now they're requiring all healthcare workers to be vaccinated. Newsom said yesterday, he compared unvaccinated people to drunk drivers, and it's just going to happen. And any time over the years when we're discussing something like this, the Democrats have really already won when we're debating it, It's just, so it's only a matter of time. Okay. Well, I'm not saying that they have the popular opinion on their side, but...
Well, if you're worried about it, you'd have to believe they have popular opinion on their side. Otherwise, what's to worry about?
Well, they control the government right now. So when they mandate it, it's going to... Now, again, it'll probably get tied up in the courts until Trump comes back in 2024. But everything I see looks like we're going to get a nationwide vaccine mandate, and they're moving towards it, and they're moving towards it pretty quick.
That's impossible, because what they're trying to do, their plan, we have said from the beginning, we was kind of groundbreaking in this, as the way I look at it. They're the ones that are getting killed in the polls. Everybody's ticked at them.
Yep.
Their side. Biden's popularity is through the cellar. I don't see how you make them a favorite in this.
Well, because I'm not saying that it's a popular idea. I don't support the idea, but they control the Democrats are as popular as, the best poll right now out there is Team USA, right? There are people hate Team USA because of their anti-Americanism, and I think it was Mark Stein. There was a conservative, I can't remember which conservative it was. It might have been Stitchfield. I can't remember if it was Mark Stein or Stitchfield. We're celebrating the loss of the Team USA woke basketball team. You know, the ratings of the Olympics are at a 33-year low. People are pissed at the Team USA over their anti-Americanism and their wokeism, and that's a good gauge as to how people feel about the Democrats. because of their liberalism, just like the Democrats. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying that they're in control right now. The Democrats are in control, and when they come in with a vaccine mandate, a lot of people that aren't vaccinated are going to go out and get it because they're going to need it to go to work, and they're not. And all of a sudden, they're going to say, "Well, I got to go to work, so I got to get it." And that's why, you know, this January 6th, which is a bad idea. I don't support that, by the way. But this January 6th hearing that they're starting today, it's inappropriate to have it right now. The country's too hot and divided over all these COVID issues, whether it's the mask, the vaccines, this, and all these other things. And having this hearing now just makes it worse. And it's irresponsible for the Democrats to have this January 6th commission going on right now. It's just wrong. I mean, you know, it's too soon. There's too much division going on, and it's too one-sided. You know, whether it's the race division or the vaccine division.
Actually, I'm kind of excited to say it. I think that basically the Democrats are in a death spiral.
Yeah. Well, that's why they're doing all these desperate things. Everything they're doing is desperate. You know.
Plus,
I don't know. What I'm seeing from the Democrats are in a panic. Okay, they got Biden. They got Biden, who's completely checked out, and they do not expect to be able to win the next two elections, the midterm or the presidency. I don't believe, because Biden, the party that's out of power historically, does well in the midterms. So just based on that, we're expected to do well. Plus, we got Trump now, which is another factor. And in 2024, they know Biden can't even walk hardly. So he's out in 2024. And Kamala is disliked. She had less than a 1% approval rating among Democrats, remember. That's why she dropped out of the race. So they expect Trump to win in 2024. So what's going on here is the Democrats, the left, are in a panic that they have a brief window to do everything it is they want to do, and that's why they're rushing so much in at the same time. This mandate, they're going to come out with a vaccine mandate. It's going to happen. The critical race theory, all these things, they're shoving things through so fast because they're in a panic and making bad decisions. I'm not saying it's going to help them, no, but they're doing these. They're in power now, and they're doing all of these things out of desperation, and they gotta clock. They gotta get things done quick, and that's why they're doing this. Well, the hearing's starting today without any Republicans on it. So right now they are, yes, because they control the process. Yeah.
I think they're doing good. All right.
In this moment in time, yeah, because they're in charge. Yeah. I mean, it's a terrible that they're doing all of these things because they're desperate. They're desperate. They only have until the midterms to do their whole agenda. Look what they're doing at the southern border. It's open, right? The northern border with Canada is closed, but the southern border is completely open.
You figure that's a puppet?
In the long term, it helps the Democrats. They don't have support. They don't care what people think. They've got their agenda. And you know what Democrats always say? The masses are asses. That's an old Democrat catchphrase that they love. Now, they don't care about popularity ratings. They've got a brief window of time to get.
They panicked
because they're on a short schedule to do these terrible things to us. Now, all right. Now listen, we're going to take our break. It's 34 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
My name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago, but it still was not doing the trick, so I said to you, let's get the MyPillow mattress topper, and let's see if it helps or makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up no pain. I felt incredible. It made a huge, huge difference for me. And the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and order your MyPillow mattress topper and do what Kathy and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And this is an incredible deal because with the promo code KANE, you will save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeart.
All right, 37 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. Steve is here. It's the Steve Kane Show. I was just looking at the Miami Herald, and they have this story. Avalanche, Miami renters brace for mass evictions as eviction moratorium ends. And they have these protesters in front of the Miami Workers Center, and they're holding up signs. Here's one of Stop unlawful evictions. It's wrong. Free rent. Housing is a human right is another one. You know, maybe these people would be able to pay their rent if they'd go get a job as opposed to sitting around a protest. You know what I mean? Everywhere I go, there are help wanted signs. Every retail store, Steve, I ran into a businessman. I was over at Friendly Tire in Margate, and I ran into a businessman who he owns a vending machine company. I was telling you about this guy, and he was telling me he's having some problems getting his workers out working, that they all want to stay home and get the unemployment still. This is the one time, I think maybe in history, where unskilled labor have an upper hand like skilled labor, because there are more job openings than there are workers willing to take them. Everywhere I go that's a retail establishment or a restaurant, there's a help wanted now hiring sign up. Everyone. I wish I was in the business of making the help wanted signs, because whoever that guy is, he's making a mint, because there's one up everywhere. You know, and that means they're paying more money than ever before to retail workers and workers at that level, because they have to, because if they don't have employees, they cannot be open. You know, there are some businesses that are like, I was at the mall a couple weeks ago, and they opened up an hour later on the weekend because they don't have enough employees to open and close all day the regular hours. So the mall is opening up late or on the weekend, which is the most traffic time in the mall. You know, and these people sitting down there in Miami, they don't look like many of them have missed meals, I'll tell you that, holding up these signs about free rent. You know, I mean, I don't have time. Let's go back to the phones. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1, K-A-N-E, and the number 1-888-465-2631. Toll-free call from anywhere. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Where cities started, I was trying to get the word out there, insurrection. You know, I was trying to get that word out there through social media. Well, it got out there, only the media turned it around and tried to say Trump was guilty of insurrection.
What are you talking about? Instead of, what do you mean? You were trying to get the word out about what are you trying to say? Just say what you're trying to say.
People that are really guilty of insurrection.
I don't know about that, but this is the thing with, you know, these Democrats. We talked at the beginning of last year when these governors came in and took all these powers that we never knew they had. They took away all our civil liberties, including the right to go to church and exercise your religion without any legislation being passed. We talked about it at the time. The Democrats are never going to give you your freedoms back. Once they take them, they want them forever. And they want all these restrictions on everything you do. And they're going to keep going. These governors got a taste of power. Usually being governor is almost a ceremonial office for most of these people. But now they actually had authority over people, and they like it.
Well, then they tried to say that Trump's guilty.
All right, I heard that 3 times already. Okay, it's okay. I know you're trying. Just trying. I know he's trying. You know, there's a woman on MSNBC who's the worst. Tiffany Cross. You don't watch MSNBC, so you don't know who she is, Steve. She's a black liberal racist, and she's filling in for Joy Reid this week. She took over Joy Reid's weekend show, and I don't know if her last name Cross is what she was born with, or did she change her name to remember, you know, the clan. I don't know where the name comes from, but she's very liberal and very anti-white, very racist. But she was talking to her. I'm not going to play the clip. I'm just going to read it to you. She said yesterday on MSNBC, talking about the January 6th hearing that's starting today, she said this: why exactly does this committee have to be so bipartisan, you know? It's like if you were prosecuting David Koresh, you're not thinking we should get the Branch Davidians on the committee too to get their perspective. So she's, you know, the left, see, when you say that they're losing and everything, not among their own people. And if you watch liberals, if you watch liberal media, and you listen to liberals talk, they continue to refer to MAGA as a cult and to Trump as a cult leader and to all of us as cult followers. Yeah, but they control the hearing. The people that believe that control this January 6th hearing. And Liz Cheney will be the first one to tell you that they're right when they say that.
So let me just get this straight. So tomorrow when we open up the Steve Kane Show and we open the phones and we say, let's talk about yesterday's hearings, you're afraid that people are going to call in on our side with their faith shaken?
No, not the no. But the media narrative that is out there is going to be an indictment against Trump and blaming him for narrative. Yes, that the narrative is going to be this Branch Davidian narrative is going to be the narrative that they promote. Yeah. This hearing is going to be terrible. They're going to be talking about MAGA as if. In the short term, us, because the media narrative is going to be, you're going to hear, they're going to talk about the MAGA people as if they were talking about ISIS or Al Qaeda during the 9/11 hearings. It's going to be that bad. Which I don't know how, these hearings are going to be some of the most, and the media is going to go along with it. And it's awful. It's going to be an awful week or two, however long these hearings are going to go on. And the media narrative is going to be disgusting. It's going to make you physically ill. But I'll tell you what will make you feel a lot better, because it always makes me feel better, and I know it makes you feel better too, and that is a basket of wings from Wings Plus in Coral Springs on Sample Road. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I think that might be the cure for everything, or Wings Plus wings. Oh man. Every time we do the spot for Wings Plus, I can smell those medium hot wings. I know it's just a mental thing going on in my head. My mouth is watering, my stomach's about to growl. But my favorite are the medium hot wings. Steve, your favorite's the lemon pepper, right? You like the lemon pepper? It's hard to say you got a favorite. Medium hot's my favorite.
It's not just the wings. They got great chili.
Oh yes, homemade, by the way.
Different than the other chilies that you get, with lots of meat, not a lot of beans, but a lot of meat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like it. Personal taste. There may be people out there that prefer the beans. So you tell them how you like it. They'll cook it. They'll satisfy your cravings. It's just great.
I'll tell you another thing everyone has to have, and when I go to Wings Plus, I usually order this as an appetizer when I'm waiting for the wings. Get a bowl of the clam chowder. By the way, all these things are homemade right there at Wings Plus on Sample Road. That clam chowder, Steve, that's the best clam chowder outside of Boston, and I would put it up to Boston clam chowder in Boston any day of the week. It's that good, and it's homemade. It's
equally as good as the clam chowder is that lobster bisque.
I have not had the lobster bisque yet.
Oh, it's great. It's absolutely unbelievable.
You know what? What's hard for me is that everything is so good. It's it's hard to go over there and say, okay, I just want to. So usually I end up ordering like 3 things, and that works out well because you can take everything to go over at Wings Plus. Now, Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs, is about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. And when you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Radio Show. We'll be right back with the Gold Report after this.
Come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me.
If you I pinned a link at the top of the chat. If you see it, that's a link to my unboxing and making my bed at home with the MyPillow mattress topper. If you have not seen that video already.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. At noon weekdays, turn your radio to Richard Pearl on Politics. Unfiltered, unapologetic, always controversial. Richard Pearl tells it like it is. No topic is off limits.
Hey there.
This is talk radio like it should be. You've known him as a master of nutraceuticals. Now, listen to Richard Pearl as you've never heard him before. Richard Pearl on Politics. High noon weekdays on this radio station. Be there.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WNN.
And now the moment you've all waited for, the high point, or at least so many people, my listeners, when I run into them, tell me it's the high point of their day on the Steve Kane Show. And of course, we're talking about William Youngerman and the Gold Report. And each day at this time, William, who, by the way, has been in the precious metals business for well over 50 years. In fact, he's been, about 17 or 18 years just on the Steve Kane Show. That's how long he's been with us. And I know a lot of you have followed his advice, because when I run into listeners and all that, they sing the praises of William Youngerman. Let's see how the precious metals look this morning. William, what's it looking like?
Sounds good. Steve, the precious metal's still in the trading range. We've been in for several weeks now. Building a strong base around that $1,795 gold, and resistance still at that $1,810 level. Yesterday we saw gold pull back $4.80, closing out the day at $1,797.40. It was up to right up around that $1,810 at one high. Silver was unchanged yesterday, closing at $25.17 the ounce, while platinum was up $4 at $1,059. And palladium closed down $13 at $2,597. Again, the oil is staying right around that $72 a barrel. The U.S. dollar index slightly lower at 92.53, and that's giving gold a little bit of support, but really just kind of hanging in that trading range. Right now, again, $1,804 the ounce, up $6.60 this morning. Silver down a nickel at $25, $25.12 the ounce. Silver, $25 seems to be a strong base. Resistance up around that $26 number. Platinum up $1 right now at $1,060, and palladium down $21 at $2,576, and that's pretty.
Now, William Youngerman opens up weekdays at 10. You can give them a call at 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, or just stop right in, located here in Boca Raton at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. Yeah, and by the way, the currencies of William Youngerman's are also right there and available to you. All right, William Youngerman, take care. All right, yeah, because traveling is back. You know, this thing we were talking about with Tucker Carlson, where he was confronted by that liberal set up by the White House.
Watch Tucker, tuned in for a show.
Yeah, because he wasn't on. They had Mark Stein was filling in for Tucker last night. I couldn't believe. Why didn't they do it? Good question. I don't know. I don't know.
We tuned in for it.
Yeah, I don't know why. He should have done his show remotely from Montana, wherever the hell he was. But the I did see them talk about it here and there, but I didn't hear anyone talk about how the White House had prior knowledge, according to Jack Posobiec, Washington reporter. And if Cotton Mather were still alive, he'd be totally redeemed because witches do exist. There's a coven of them over on The View every day. And they, yesterday, Google Cotton Mather, people. He's redeemed every day on The View. What happened on they were talking about this on The View yesterday. Joy Behar, listen to this. I'm not going to play the audio. I'll have to read it to you because I don't have the audio queued up. Joy Behar said this of the Tucker confrontation. Well, I'm against public confrontations like that, especially when you're in a hostile state of mind, Joy Behar said. If you have something to say to me, tweet it. But don't come up to me with your hostility. I don't like that. But I think Tucker probably thought it was a safe place, and when you're spewing lies that cost people their lives, actually no place is safe for him. And people like him, as for the vaccine, you know that Tucker got it. I don't, and it goes on and on. So she said, don't bother people on vacation unless they spew lies. And Tucker's a liar, so it's okay to harass him on his vacation. What a nasty sicko, Joy Behar. You know what's crazy about Joy Behar? She is a comedian, supposedly, and that they have this panel, and everybody is there for a different reason, right? Whoopi is there because she's a big star. She used to be. Sunny Hostin is there because they have to have a black person. Meghan McCain is there because they want to have and Joy Behar is supposed to be the comic relief. And in all these years, I've never heard her tell a joke or say anything funny. She's a comedian without any comedy. Exactly. Whoopi Goldberg's a comedian too. So, but Joy Behar is very serious and just a nasty person. But it's The View. It's The View. Now, weekdays at noon on our radio stations, you all know what that means. That means Richard Pearl on politics. Richard Pearl, good morning. So what do you have in store for us today at 12? Oh, yes. Now let me ask you: Did the governor say that you're supposed to force them into the cars to take them? I mean, are you supposed to abduct them? What was he saying when he said put them in cars? Oh, okay. Yep. Yep. Yeah, and let me tell you, I hear from listeners all the time that drive incredible distances to go and meet with you, Richard Pearl, over at your store, Simply Natural in Sunrise, and they are very happy that they did it. I'm talking people driving over an hour each way, which is a good testament to you and your store. Now, Richard Pearl's store, Simply Natural, is located in the city of Sunrise, of course, just north of Sunset Strip, on the east side of University Drive, open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. And the number over there is 954-741-4045, 954-741-4045. And of course, at noon on this radio station, each and every weekday, Richard Pearl on Politics is on the air, so tune in for that. All right, Richard Pearl, have a great show. We'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. Oh, we always are looking forward to it. Yeah, it's a great show. and I enjoy it. We're almost out of time, Steve, but I just wanted to tell people, just before we go, because I've gotten some questions about this now, the cruise ship that our cruise is on in January, the Steve Kane Trump MAGA 2022 cruise. We're going to Aruba, Cayman Islands, Bonaire, Curacao out of Fort Lauderdale. This ship is more than halfway booked up now. It is going to be booking up very fast. Celebrity Cruise Lines have been sailing now for at least a month, maybe 2. So cruising's back. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot and join us. His number's listed at stevekaneshow.com. I'll give it to you real quick, but go to stevekaneshow.com for it. 561-244-5779. Steve and I are going to be doing a stage show the first night, which we've never done before. We're going to be on an actual stage, which I don't like doing. Steve likes to be on stage, not me, but but we're going to be doing a stage show where we have a talk show where we're going to talk. It's going to be completely unplugged, and we're going to talk about things that you will never hear us talk about on the radio. I promise you, it's going to be an exciting time on our cruise. We're out of time, so if you want to sign us off quickly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought you were going to say pain in the...
South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right. Hey, guys. Hey, thanks for watching, everyone. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And look at this. I got a bunch of fan mail. Okay, I'm getting a lot of fan mail. I got fan mail. I'm not going to open it now, but I'll open it later. But hey, everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting my channel. Check out my podcast from yesterday, okay? It was a very, very good podcast with Kathy and I. We touched on some really good topics, and a lot of times on the podcast, I can get into more detail about things, and of course, you get my wife's perspective, which is always good. So anyway, guys, I will see you soon. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like the video. All right, take care. I'm just trying to end the stream still. I got disconnected, so the stream's still going. But I'm going to end it now, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.